Alright guys, this video's been on my radar for a little bit and I just never got around to reacting to it, but we are doing a reaction to this Gamer from Mars video called Tipster, the YouTuber that ruined his own life. Now, just to be clear, Tipster is a trans person. I believe they go by she, her, I believe. If not, I'm going to use they, them, just because I don't fully know what pronouns Tipster goes by. And whenever I don't know the pronouns that somebody goes by, I just do they, them. It's always a safe bet, you know. You can never go wrong with a good old they, them. And there you go. This is like an entire video on Tipster, so curious.
Hey there folks, Robert here, and as always I am your geeky tipster, and I'm not a fan of drama. However, when something strikes a nerve with me, I'm not afraid to speak up.
It's
Hell yeah, Tipster. Go get him, Tipster.
hard to find an internet figure with more backstory than Tipster, who over the past two
Bro, Tipster's carrying on a lot back there. God damn.
decades has made
God damn.
a name for himself on YouTube for all the wrong reasons. While the rotund individual has tried his hardest to be a legitimate influencer since the site's inception, as time has gone on, he's unfortunately been tied into the lolcow archetype, with behavior that many have deemed questionable, from defending inappropriate images of minors to
Why is it a child? Because it has small tits? Guess grown-ass women never have had small tits before. I wish I knew the context of this tweet. Small tits, the girl has no tits, Tipster. It's clearly a child.
to flirting with online women who he refers to as his goth mommies while married.
Bro. Tipster. Listen, I know Tipster watches my content from time to time, and the reason I know this is because back in February, I did a reaction to Alex the Fiction's impromptu interview with Tipster, and Tipster found my video and actually left a comment on it. So, Tipster, if you're watching this, I appreciate you. Thank you. But, man, gotta be careful with goth mommies. I dated a goth mommy last year, and she trauma dumped on, like, the first date, so gotta be careful, Tipster. Come on. Like, it's one thing to goon to goth mommies, but, like, man, I just did a reaction where goth mommy, like, there was this goth woman complaining that her culture's being ruined by a bunch of OnlyFans women, ruining the goth culture. I feel like I contribute to that problem, though, too. I think both me and Tipster contribute to that. And I'm trying to say this as somebody who cares about you, Tipster, alright? Like, we both gotta make an effort to, not ruin the goth name in the name of the rest of the goths.
To being friends with a white woman who had her child call her enemy the N-word, there's a lot to
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
unpack with this one.
Is that similar to the Shiloh Hendrix situation? Because it kind of sounds like that's what it was.
While he has threatened to leave the World Wide Web an endless amount of times, he always seems to pop back up to the pleasure of many of his detractors who seem fixated on mocking him.
Does the Gamer from Mars know that Tipster goes by they, them pronouns or she, her pronouns and not he, him? I know for a fact Tipster doesn't go by he, him anymore. So I wonder if the Gamer from Mars knows that or if they're intentionally not doing that. I don't know.
Because his career or lack thereof is so expansive, I thought it would be good to dig deep and make one concise video breaking down the few ups and many downs of this YouTuber's career, with it all culminating in him transitioning to be a goth mommy himself. But before we go any further,
Hey, listen. When life gives you a lolcow arc, the best thing you can do is become a goth mommy. I mean, it somewhat worked out for Boblax. You know, Boblax, went by they, them, non-binary. And I guess a lot of the commentary community wasn't a fan of that, because I don't think the commentary community gets too political, but when they do, I can foresee a lot of the commentary community being, like, conservative-leaning. Maybe not necessarily, like, far-right, but they are conservative-leaning. I've always seen the commentary community more appealing to that audience.
further in today's video, have you ever tried quitting smoking or vaping with no success?
Hell yeah, today's sponsor. You know the deal, guys. We have to watch every single ad that we come across.
Well, today's sponsor might do the trick. Fume. Nicotine pouches, patches, and gum only address the nicotine while still keeping you reliant on it. And cold turkey is extremely unsustainable.
Man, I could never get into nicotine. The experience of my smoking, or at least like doing weed or vaping, the extent for me was like doing weed once during an internship when I was in high school. Not my proudest moment, obviously. I was 17 years old at the time, so yeah. The second time I think was like a little later that same year. I think it was like 7 or 8 months after that time that I did it, and then I just never did it again because I realized weed's not for me. And I think I vaped when I was like depressed, only a little bit. I don't vape as much nowadays just because it's not good for you. I honestly would argue that vaping is debatably worse than like actually smoking a cigarette, because like you're inhaling battery acid and all these other like fucking components into your body as opposed to cigarettes. Both are bad, but I actually legitimately think vaping might be worse.
For focusing you on every craving and expecting pure willpower to carry you through. But the thing is, vaping and smoking aren't just a nicotine problem, they're a habit problem. The hand-to-mouth motion, the inhale, the stress break, the thing you reach for automatically throughout the day. And that's exactly why Fume works.
Oh, we've seen this sponsor with Willie Mac Show. We've seen them before.
Fume is a flavored air device made from real wood and metal that gives your hand, mouth, and brain something better to reach for when craving hits. It has no nicotine, no vapor, and no batteries. And it was specifically designed to help you quit. They sent me a package with a bunch of different flavors to try of the product, and I think mint is my favorite. On top of that, I really like the fidget element of it. You could spin it around, make it click, and it feels really...
You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby. Sorry.
Substantial for you to just mess around with when you're bored. And the best part is if you go and grab a journey pack for yourself, you'll also get a free Fume topper just for using my code, TheGamerFromMars, at checkout. So to try it out for yourself, click the link in the description down below or scan the QR code on the screen. Tipster, real name Robert Santillan, has been posting online in one form or another for over 2 decades. His oldest videos were uploaded to GameTrailers.com and soon after re-uploaded.
GameTrailers.com. Why does this website look so familiar to me? I swear I must have like came across this like during the old days, or maybe on my like brother's old fucking computer back when we used to use glass monitors from computers. Those are obsolete now.
Uploaded to YouTube in 2006 under the name Gamer Geek Review. As the name would imply, his earliest posts to the website were video game and console reviews, although many of them were never archived, and Tipster has since wiped these videos from his channel.
I know the feeling, Tipster. I've had many iterations of content creation in the past. I had a YouTube channel when I was in elementary school, deleted all my videos when I got to 6th grade, tried again, I think in middle school. Didn't really work out for me going into high school, and eventually I wound up privating all those videos anyway. Did a commentary channel, Anonymous Animosity, during COVID. That was like probably my edgiest time during content creation, not my proudest moment. A lot of the opinions I hold on that channel are, well, let's just say they didn't age super well. I was a lot edgier back in the day, more so than now. And nowadays, I'm like kind of in a good spot. Obviously, my Twitch platform as well, on Dr. Evil Bad Rex for Twitch. That was another one that I did before bullshit cancellation happened, but you guys already know the deal about that. And now we're just doing this. So, you know, I would say, like, I'm slowly growing on this channel. I'm not in any rush to, like, blow the fuck up immediately, but I'm generally, like, happy with where I'm at for the time being, you know. I've been getting a lot of negative attention, though, recently. I think it's probably, I do be doing a little bit of rage baiting, so I guess some of it's definitely on me, but unfortunately I have some really insane people. I even have a stalker now, which is not fun to deal with. So I have to take some precautions in my personal life to make sure that this fucking stalker doesn't, like, harm me in any way. It's really not fun to deal with, but what are you gonna do?
In his About section, he wrote, "My hope is that through these videos, I would one day be discovered by the gaming press and get the chance to review games for a living. I know it is a crazy dream to have, but heck, why not, you know?" Below his bio was a link to his personal Gamer Geek Review website.
Hey, the Orange Box, COD 4, Guitar Hero. Dude, these are throwbacks. Tipster, you are cultured. You have my respect for this.
Here he would post his takes on the latest in gaming news and controversy. These usually consisted of extremely short paragraphs summarizing other publications like IGN. Shortly after its creation, his site was promoted on Newgrounds by an account named Anemic Grav. The only posts from this account are directing users to the blog, claiming it belongs to a friend who invited him on his podcast. Considering the only other online activity linked to the anemic Grav username is a DeviantArt page with one censored post labeled Penis Man, it's almost certainly a throwaway account used by Tipster himself.
Wow. Penis Man. I can't imagine calling yourself Penis Man, especially nowadays, Tipster. You're a trans person now.
In 2009, Tipster wrote an introduction for himself and his website on Gavatar, an early precursor to sites like Linktree, where he says, "I grew up in Fontana, California, and I have always been a gamer. I always tried to stay with the latest gaming trends, and I was the guy my friends would turn to in order to find out what games were worth their time and which ones were better just to ignore." Throughout his time online, Robert would also host several other domains, including Gamer Geek Network, a community site that boasted a grand total of 8 members. There was also the Tech Tipster and Your Geeky Tipster, where he would post about more broad topics, such as his frustration with Facebook's moderation team. "Facebook has, again, blocked my account from sending out friends requests on the ground that I have continued to add strangers when in fact I have not sent out a single friends request, as well as canceled all prior friends requests since the last block. I am tired of the BS and will discontinue use of my personal Facebook."
I don't remember Gamer from Mars being this theatrical when reading stuff. I know I reacted to a Gamer from Mars video, I think it was last year actually. Oh my god, has it really almost been a year since I reacted to that video? Holy shit, where did time go? Yeah, it was like a My Little Pony retrospective video, and I found it very fascinating because I used to watch MLP. And so it was a very interesting reaction to do and for the both of us. But anyway, that's beside the point. I just don't remember Tipster being this theatrical when reading shit. Or, I mean, sorry, Gamer from Mars.
Account. Tipster would also keep track of important upcoming events, including an anime expo and shouting out his birthday 3 times in a single day.
Oh my god, an anime fan too? Bro, this is how you know Tipster is like an Omega Gooner. Anime fan, goth girl fan, like commenting and like following different women on social media. Bro, come on, Tipster. Come on. You're not fooling anybody, Tipster.
While his various websites...
I'm like a fucking gooner. And like the devil knows that the devil knows how much of a gooner I am. I'm so much of a gooner that not even the devil wants me. That's how much of a gooner I am, bro. Like, if there is a tier beyond the devil, if there's, like, somebody worse than the devil, that's how much of a gooner I am. Just letting you know.
Sites weren't gaining major notoriety, it was clear Tipster was enjoying his life. In 2012, he posted a review on Foursquare of his local In-N-Out burger, giving it a 9 out of 10, writing, "Order the grilled cheese sandwich. It's on their secret menu and is quite good."
Interesting. Getting a grilled cheese at In-N-Out. I didn't even know you could get a grilled cheese at In-N-Out. In-N-Out's so mid. I gotta say, like, the burger is actually, like, solid, but that's really the only good part about In-N-Out. The fries are just, like, super mid. They're very, like, average and just nothing special at all. Like, I actually would argue the fries are, like, very subpar, if anything. The burger is solid. I've never had their grilled cheese, though. Maybe I should look into that. Maybe, has anyone tried an In-N-Out grilled cheese? Maybe that's worth looking into.
Yummy. Tipster's many grilled cheese sandwiches were being funded by his job as an IT professional. His side gig as a gaming and tech journalist wasn't bringing in much, if any money at all, but that didn't stop him from trying over and over again. Through the next few years, his videos evolved from tech tips and reviews to a broader range of content, including unboxings, vlogs, and general internet discourse.
Bro, he's got an anime poster in the background. Dude, come on, Tipster. I always get so weirded out by people with, like, anime posters in their fucking background, like an overabundance of them. I guess this is not that many. But, not that long ago, we reacted to this one woman who was, like, hyper obsessed with Firebat for being a lolcat. Like, Firebat's a lolcat, in case you guys don't know who Firebat is. And she had, like, an overabundance of fucking anime in her background. She kind of, like, weirded me the fuck out. She's, like, the kind of, like, person you would see in, like, a doll horror film or something.
Although people never showed much interest in Tipster's personal life or tech updates, his videos covering internet controversies slowly found an audience. By 2016, after 10 years on the site, he had amassed just over 12,000 subscribers. He was also now living with his wife, who occasionally appeared alongside him in videos.
Hey there, folks. Robert here, your geeky tipster, and I'm
Hey, wife. Where's the wife doing? What's she doing today?
here with my wife, Cindy, today. How you doing today, sweetheart? You doing good?
By all accounts,
Oh. That was awkward. Maybe she's not much of a camera person. You know, it's okay. I think we've all been there. Not everybody's a camera person, but maybe she's doing it because she loves Tipster. And that's a wholesome thing.
Tipster had a simple, peaceful, and happy life. He even began multi-streaming to his humble community on YouTube and Twitch. But beneath the surface, his channel's relatively slow growth began to get under his skin. On May 13th, 2016, he took to Twitter writing, "A friend just sent me a really messed up message. I'd be lying if I said it didn't hurt or get me down, but I won't let it keep me down."
Hey, good on you, Tipster. I do realize that this was a 2016 tweet, so I can extend some charitability long time ago, but yeah, not everything needs to be out there. I mean, again, it's a 2016 tweet, so it was like 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago, actually. Wait, 2016 was 10 years ago? Oh my god, I'm so old. Holy shit. Fucking 2016 being 10 years ago is actually like a fever dream that I just realized. Wow, dude, I'm telling you, you blink and you may grow a white beard if you blink.
He later posted a video elaborating on this tweet.
And essentially what this person said was that me working on YouTube is pointless. There's no value to it. There's no worth to it. Why do I do it? It's just a total waste of time. I'm wasting my life away in front of the camera, and what I'm doing is going to amount to nothing.
In spite of this hurtful message and attacks he had been getting from various online trolls, Tipster reaffirmed that he wasn't going anywhere. This resilience paid off when just a few months later, an unexpected figure gave his channel a major boost.
I'm in shock right now. I just wrapped up my stream, and I'm in shock right now because I got raided by Zoe Burger.
Whoa, Zoe Burger. Oh my god. That's a name I haven't heard of in a long time, bro. I remember Zoe Burger, Abigail Mandler, and Celestia Vega. Dude, those three were like the ultimate trio back in the day. You want to talk about like the OG OnlyFans trio? This was before OnlyFans was a thing, but like you want to talk about like the OG cam girl days. That was your trio. That was your trio. I indulged in a lot of the well, my 15-year-old self had a lot of fun with their content. I'll just say that.
I did not.
I do remember Scarce being very lucky back when he was around, though. Scarce has been coming back recently. Like, he has been uploading some interesting content. We reacted to one of Scarce's return videos back in March, if you guys are interested.
Not expect that. Apparently, she was doing a stream where she was just raiding tons and tons of people, and
Pretty sure that's against Twitch's TOS now to like mass raid people in like that small amount of time. I'm pretty sure.
happened to be one of them. Today was honestly a rough day. That made my night. If you're watching this, Zoe, thank you so much.
Zoe Burger is a name you likely haven't heard in years.
Yeah, you could say that again.
But in 2017, she was one of several women leading the charge in testing the limits of YouTube's live stream policy.
I'm pretty sure that Zoe Burger, like, the reason why she's called Zoe Burger is because she has Asperger's, and I'm pretty sure there's, like, what's the condition? There's, like, a condition where it, like, enlarges your breasts to, like, an abnormal size. There's, like, a certain condition for it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she brought up that she had that condition on her. So, guys think it's fucking great, but obviously for the woman it sucks because she's going to have a lot of back pain and stuff. It's terrible.
Policies. To be more specific, she claims
Also, Zoe Burger was on the grind back in the day. I'm not sure what she's doing nowadays. I'd be curious to know what Zoe Burger's up to nowadays, but she was on the grind, and I respect it. She really played into the content strategy.
she would post her own nudes at 1 million subscribers, a milestone she quickly reached. At the time, she was one of the most...
Hey, they're scarce. Look at all of them. There's Abigail Mandler, Celestia Vega. Bro, they're all... Man, this was Scarce's peak moment right here. It's a beautiful thing. I think so. It's amazing. It's a masterpiece.
controversial figures on the sites,
Hell yeah.
collaborating with other large YouTubers like John Scarce, and getting a diss track made on her by Ricegum where he makes an
Who didn't Ricegum make a diss track on at this point?
astute observation.
I mean, I guess Ricegum has changed. Like, he stopped making content. I know he, he got married and he was about to have a kid, but unfortunately he lost that kid to a miscarriage, which is heartbreaking. God bless, he doesn't deserve that. I wonder how Ricegum's doing. I mean, like, obviously Ricegum has enough money to retire, but I also wonder how he's doing, because he hasn't uploaded content in ages either. Damn, wow, so many fucking faces that I just haven't seen in a long time, and it's just like, it makes you wonder, how are they doing nowadays?
That her nipples look strange. Getting a shout out from Zoe Berger near the peak of her popularity was a big deal, and she even began shaking her butt at the camera in hopes it would encourage more of her viewers to subscribe to Tipster. As a result, he quickly surpassed 14,000 subs. This boost in viewership was the push he needed to go all in on streaming and content creation. He stopped maintaining the Your Geeky Tipster website and finally rebranded his channel away from his real name to just Tipster. Along with this rebrand came a new intro to all of his videos, where he
just the Tipster, baby.
Can be seen holding 2 vintage Nest Zappers, while a remix of Dr. Dre's The Next Episode featuring Snoop Dogg plays in the background.
Of course, that's always a classic.
This interesting choice of music eventually resulted in every single video on his channel getting copyright claimed in 2019.
That doesn't surprise me. Bit of a silly choice on Tipster's part. I respect their attempts for experimenting with that one, but yeah, you were most likely going to have YouTube up your ass for that one. So it's kind of on you, Tipster. Can't deny that one.
Losing all of his ad revenue and forcing him to no longer use the song.
Smoke weed every day.
For the time being, however, Tipster's career was on a sharp upward trajectory. He began making inroads with other commentary and drama YouTubers, as that had now become the main focus of his channel.
I remember when Tipster made his debut into the commentary community, or their debut, excuse me. I do remember that very, very clearly. Yeah, that was quite the transition from all the previous content iterations that they've done. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, you do commentary for a little bit. Not only does it get boring after a while, but the commentary community is just so fucking toxic. It's just not worth it. I don't interact with the majority of them because it's just not worth it.
One of these YouTubers he befriended was Tommy C, whose show Tipster appeared on in 2018.
Whoa, you mean Tommy C showed Tipster his tip?
The stream ended positively, with Tommy asking his viewers to subscribe to Robert's channel. Soon after, the two began fighting on Twitter when Tommy accused Tipster of liking a tweet that suggested he was a negligent alcoholic father who allowed children to urinate on him. These were allegations
Oh, that's... okay then.
that Tipster adamantly denied, writing, "The things Tommy claims I said, I never actually said them, nor did I share / like any post about him as he claims."
I don't know, Tipster. You're a bit of a top tier gooner, so I'm kind of leaning towards doubt on that one. But maybe Tipster is so adamant that they didn't do those things,
and he's yet to provide any evidence. The following week, Tommy C returned with receipts of Tipster liking several posts, including one that says, "Tommy C is like that awkward drunk uncle that gets pee on as soon as he falls asleep. Who the hell has heard of the trope of children peeing on drunk family members? What is this?" Tommy had since removed his like from this tweet before claiming Tommy had no evidence, but unfortunately it had already been archived. This minor spat was just a glimpse into Tipster's true character, an inability
a gooner.
to admit
That's Tipster's like biggest crime out of anything. It's just being a big gooner.
fault.
And that was not a fat joke, by the way, before anyone accuses me of making a fat joke.
Something that would only become more pronounced over time. It was also not the last occasion his liked posts on Twitter would cause him trouble. Regardless, his fan base, whom he dubbed the Tipster Mafia, continued to grow over the coming years.
Bro, I still need to finish The Sopranos. I'm like towards the end of season 2. I gotta finish it.
Notably his back and forth with Suzy Liu in 2020. And
Is that Suzy Liu? Who the fuck is this woman? No, I know the woman on the left is Suzy Liu. Who's the woman on the right? I don't recognize this woman on the right at all.
Insane woman abusing YouTube's copyright system put his channel in the spotlight.
Unless fucking Tipster just used it as clickbait.
With many coming to his defense. He had gained friends, street cred, and an audience that after over a decade of effort would allow him to be a full-time content creator, his one dream in life. Unfortunately, with this sliver of fame came scrutiny that he was not prepared to handle, which would end up starting his own demise. What needs to be understood is that Robert had a knack for getting himself into debates he wasn't equipped for about things that didn't even need to be debated in the first place. An early example of this took place in 2021 after another YouTuber named Oki took to Twitter to announce, "I hate Tipster. He's just a lame bottom feeder."
Wow. Well, that's one way to get into it.
This prompted Tipster to invite him on his stream so the two could have a debate whether or not he was indeed a lame bottom feeder. As you can imagine, this debate was not very fruitful, with Tipster showing DMs from Oki complimenting him months prior, and proceeding to kick him off the call before he could respond.
Yeah,
I was being honest when I said you are the only commentary drama channel that I watch. So I find it really interesting that you would call me a bottom feeder when you were literally choking on my DMs less than a year ago, dude.
Well, let's just okay. I think you're overestimating how big your is.
No, you were.
Dude, that's not fair. You hit them with the double whammy. It's you're overestimating how big your cock is. So not only was that a small dick joke, but was that also an insinuation that Tipster can't see their own dick because they're fat? Bro, you can't hit Tipster with that one right before Tipster kicks you. Does even Tipster know that? That's fucking crazy. That's insane, brother.
Kissing my ass less than a year ago, and now I'm a bottom feeder who you hate when I literally don't even...
I don't even know why Tipster is like debating this person to begin. Like, why even bother debating this person to begin with? Was this like when Tipster was still in their like commentary phase or whatever?
Interact with you, dog. Quite frankly, I'm not interested in even continuing this conversation with you anymore.
Are you done yet, or can I?
Yeah,
can I
we are done. Get the out, stupid.
Afterward, Tipster posted, "That was fun, LOL." Oki responded, "Yeah, screaming and then kicking me was a total own." Tipster later cut this debate down for a stream highlight titled, "The most dishonest hack I have ever spoken to." Upon seeing this, Oki responded again saying, "This guy invited me onto his stream to explain why I don't like him and then proceeded to spurg out and kick me 14 minutes in. Most useless convo of my life."
This is how you know you're in these like weird edgy commentary spaces when they use terms like spurg out. Like, I feel like that's like an ableist term. Like, I feel like saying spurg out is like, you know, Asperger out. You know, that's where the term comes from. I feel like that's an ableist term. This is how you know that like this fucking commentary, you're like in these like weird commentary spaces.
Even in mundane interactions, Tipster still managed to repeatedly make a fool of himself. Similar to Drama Alert, he tried to popularize the hashtag TipsterNews, although today the hashtag is exclusively used to mock him. This isn't because Tipster has done
it makes sense, considering Tipster is kind of seen as a lolcow these days.
Anything completely unforgivable, but rather because many would see him as a buffoon. In one notable instance of this supposed buffoonery, Tipster responded to someone calling him greasy and obese by saying, "I still get more action than you. Ladies love the jiggly jiggle."
Do they, Tipster? Do you actually get a lot of responses from women? Also, is your wife okay with this as well? Because I know you're married. Unless you're not married anymore, in which case, my condolences.
With a Homer Simpson gif attached. It's unknown why he felt the need to respond to this random Twitter user, or why he thought this response would result in anything other than further ridicule. Random Twitter posters getting under his skin was something Tipster could not avoid. On May 12, 2022, Amaranth posted a video titled, "Why I'm Quitting OnlyFans." Tipster somehow managed to screenshot this 1 minute after it was uploaded, and posted it to his Twitter account with the caption, "The simp's bout to be wildin', LOL." When other users pointed out the odd timing of a screenshot and the fact that he appeared to already have watched 30 seconds into the video, Tipster responded by unfollowing and blocking them, including accounts that didn't even tag him directly. This banning spree continued until half the community was blocked by Tipster, including many of his friends, at which point he posted an anime gif with the caption, "Twitter feed looking less cancer at the moment."
Well, you can try to make your Twitter feed look less cancer all you want, but as the years go on, Twitter, ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter, it's just gotten worse and worse. Like, not that Twitter was already a good place before Elon Musk took over, but it got insanely bad because no matter how much you block out of your feed, it's always going to feed you a bunch of, like, right-wing disinformation garbage, unfortunately. That's just what Twitter is. I feel like we need to have a conversation about maybe like Twitter being more regulated because Elon Musk just does not regulate anything on that platform. It wasn't that long ago that you could generate child porn using his AI model Grok.
Kinda wish I did this sooner. He followed this up with another anime gif saying, "Unfollow a few people and everyone starts coping, living rent-free." Tipster clearly wanted people to believe that he was unbothered by the whole ordeal. This is likely why...
Yes, because we all know the best way to communicate that you're unbothered by something is if you have to constantly tweet about it.
He privated his Twitter account before posting another anime gif captioned, "Stepping away from
GIF?
the net for a bit. Don't know when I'll be back, but right now my mental health is more important and I need to focus on that more than anything."
Well, instantly folded immediately. I don't think anyone was buying Tipster's facade for a second. Just being real.
"I'll be back when the time is right." He then wiped his entire Twitter account. This Amaranth situation was made funnier due to the reputation Tipster had already garnered online for being an unapologetic simp. Back in 2019, Robert was browsing his Twitter homepage when he saw a beautiful damsel come across his timeline. In her post she wrote, "Thank God I'm a lesbian." This upset Tipster greatly and he replied, "Why do all the hot ones not like Hashtag feels bad, man."
Man, Tipster, you really gotta... you gotta, like, stop being a fucking gooner. So, like, listen, like, we're all gooners to some degree, but it's like... you just can't pull off the gooner game very well, Tipster.
LOL. Tragically, the girl he was responding to turned out to be 17 with her posting underage in her bio.
Bro, come on. Come on, Tipster. Come on.
At the time, Tipster was 32 and, as mentioned prior, married.
Tipster, you're 32 years old. Would it have killed you to check their bio to see if they said any of the words like underage, minor, or like an age that's below 18? Would it have killed you? Now, granted, I don't think Tipster knew the age of the person when he commented that, but... or when they commented that, excuse me. But come on, Tipster. Like, that is, like, such idiot behavior. Like, you're 32. You should be doing a little more due diligence. Like, again, you didn't know the age, so, like, I'm not accusing you of any knowingly doing something wrong, but, like, still.
While many fans hoped that Tipster just didn't realize the girl was underage, that didn't stop him from getting laughed at by the entire community.
Probably. I mean, he was already... I keep forgetting. Tipster was already seen as, like, a lol cow at this point, so it was, like, not... like, they were probably an easy target already.
If this was an isolated incident of Tipster giving in to his most primal desires, it's likely I wouldn't be making this video. Unfortunately, thirsting over random women on his timeline was a habitual problem for Tipster, and he surrounded himself with almost any woman who was willing to give him attention. He even included...
that's fucking insane.
Lord of the Goth Mommies in his Twitter bio, and eventually sold various Goth Mommy themed merchandise, which I'm sure he sold a ton of.
You know, Goth Mommies are great and all, but, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of them come with a lot of baggage behind the scenes, so just be prepared to deal with that. Maybe some of them are crazies, maybe some of them aren't. I don't know. It varies.
One random commenter put it, Tipster's Goth Mommy harem primarily consisted of, quote, busted middle-aged women well past their prime. One of these beautiful ladies was an alcoholic mother of 9 who went by...
Mother of 9? Mother of 9? Jesus Christ. How many times is she fucking spreading it wide open in the bedroom?
AP over 9K. She often appeared in Discord calls on Tipster's streams. In one iconic moment after ordering a delicious meal of Taco Bell on DoorDash, she can be heard calling her dasher the N-word after he canceled her delivery.
To be nice, like, oh, my mom's hot, like, I don't think that's weird. Wait,
did you
what?
say that?
Bro, that's fucking insane. That is so indefensible. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Whoopsie, that's I should have had my mic muted that time. Or caught in 4K.
Okay.
Listen, it's okay if you say slurs on Apex Legends as long as nobody catches you except you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
bro,
that's
see,
not
this is
okay.
what I'm fucking
That's
talking
not
about.
okay. Well, that's why she got removed from the call, because it's not okay.
Get the out of here. I know you did it, but I'm like, dude, you can't trust these white women, bro.
Clearly she was...
I don't know if it's because she's white, but I guess in that instance, yeah, that's why you can't be trusting white women, I suppose. White women do be doing white women things.
Great company for Tipster to keep around. And after one of many instances of Tipster being mocked on Twitter, wherein he deleted most of the videos on his channel and declared he was leaving the community for good, she took it upon herself to defend him, claiming another commenter named Boblax wasn't a good friend to Tipster. This was confusing as Boblax was one of the few people not making fun of Robert at the time. The two got on a call with Tipster joining to mediate, although it was nearly impossible to follow why AP was upset.
You said this tweet is f***ed up, correct? This tweet I made about Tipster's f***ed up, correct?
No, I think you're a giant piece of shit. I think you're a really f***ed up, shitty person, honestly.
Damn!
Like, just in general. But that's probably because I'm actually an adult.
The debate ended with Tipster panicking and deleting the entire server mid-conversation.
Oh, I'm kicked from the server. Wait, what? Wait, did Tipster give her... Tipster deleted the server. The server got deleted. Oh my god.
The following day, Robert posted an apology tweet.
This was before Boblox was in their locale era, and look, you know, I think a lot of the hate towards Boblox is definitely disproportionate, I agree. Boblox kind of does it to themselves a little bit. But I think when Boblax first entered their lolcow era, I didn't really feel as bad for Boblax, just because Boblax was kind of a rules for thee, but not for me person. So Boblax could enjoy other people's lolcow era, but then the moment it happened to them, it was a problem. So I didn't really feel bad for Boblax at first, but I think now it's gotten to a point where it's kind of disproportionate, and I don't really agree with it.
Writing, I wanted to take a moment to apologize to both AP and Boblax for what happened last night. The whole thing was a big misunderstanding that led to a huge mess. Also, I apologize to AP for not making it clear Boblax was live. I assume she knew, and that was a mistake.
It's probably a good idea to let people know that you're live when you're, you know, when you have them on a call. It's probably just good to be like, hey, you know, I'm live streaming, by the way, you know, I am live, and, you know, you should know that you're being recorded or something like that. It's just good practice.
I am going to take a few days offline. After last night, I just need a few days to myself to decompress.
Just one more break will do it, Tipster. Next time you come back, you'll come back swinging.
Rather than taking a few days off, though, Tipster returned the following day to announce he had taken some Delta 8 gummies. In the end, it seems his apology was not enough for AP, as less than a month later, Tipster had to publicly cut ties with her after finding out she had participated in an anti-Tipster Discord server. She was also now claiming
Damn, was the calling the black person the N-word not enough to disavow them?
Tipster had intentionally misled her about the debate to being a private call that wouldn't be streamed. Robert responded by saying, "Now you're outright lying. I never promised you it was private. Everyone knew it was live. The VC channel the call took place on was literally called on air, and I told you he was live, but you weren't paying attention." He then posted another sad anime gif captioned, "Sometimes I wonder why I bother being a loyal friend to people who clearly don't deserve it. 'Cause when it comes time to return the favor, I'm always kicked to the curb. I'm too kind for my own good."
I think another lesson to Tipster is it's okay to not post everything. Not everything needs to be a public spectacle. I think it's okay to just, you know, take a step back and realize, yeah, you know, I don't need to vent everything to social media, especially Twitter. Nowadays, Twitter is so unbelievably toxic.
This was the last straw for AP, who posted a Notes app response claiming that
oh my god, AP had a massive makeover. Look at the profile picture. Is that AP nowadays?
she was drunk during the Boblax stream, although she denies being an alcoholic, writing, If I was actually an alcoholic, don't you think I would know where my limit is? And to answer her question, no. She then did the only logical thing and leaked all of her DMs with Tipster. The carnage left in the wake of these DM leaks was immeasurable, and the event went on to be known as Tipstergate. In these messages, AP can be seen sending Tipster screenshots of a user named Spondyle getting 0 likes posting into the void about her. She was clearly upset that Tipster wouldn't defend her from this menace. Tipster calmly responded with a level head writing, "I'm just gonna leave the internet, okay? I screwed up and now everyone is mad at me. So I am just gonna leave and I am not coming back."
No, Tipster, come back. No, we'll miss you.
AP reassures him by saying, "I will never be the person that gets mad and turns on you or spills things you told me in confidence. That is not who I am." Of course, since we're reading this message right now, she did exactly that, which is why we now have something known as the ripped pants incident. This is because,
oh my god, what is this, SpongeBob?
As also in the leaked messages, Tipster stated, "Sat down in my office chair this morning and my pants split in the ass. Had to rush home and change, lol. Should have took a picture of the pants. This crazy." Besides talking about...
God, I worried for a second that we were about to hear, like, the quartering levels of, like, embarrassing stories being told. The quartering, like, told a story where they, like, shit their pants so badly and they were running through, like, the fucking supermarket or whatever. It was, like, the most embarrassing story I've ever heard in my entire life. Listen, Tipster, if you ever decide to watch this, you know, you might have reached lolcow status, but be glad you're not as big of a lolcow as Jeremy, aka the quartering.
Wardrobe malfunctions, many of the leaked DMs were also having Tipster attempting to rizz up this married mother of 9. "I thought you looked great in that photo, to be honest. Goth mommy..."
Oh, does that mean that she's ugly in every other photo?
"He could get it. Notice the new PFP. Not gonna lie, looking kinda hot in hot pink. Even hotter, goth mommy. Haha. You a hot goth. Haha."
Alright. Tipster does not know the concept of push and pull. You know, you gotta know when to push and pull in your flirting. You know, you can obviously compliment and know when the right time is to flirt, but then if you're complimenting them too much, then it's overwhelming. You know, it's not that attractive. Or not incentive to be attracted to you if you're constantly being like, you're hot, you're hot, you're hot, you're this, you're that, you're ha. Like, I don't know, bud. It's just not attractive to them. You gotta learn your push and pull, my good sir.
"Ah, your friend kinda cute. Haha. Ayo, she's 16. And what..."
Dude. Bro. Oh my god. Tipster, you're 2 for 2 now on not verifying the ages. That's 2 for 2, Tipster, on not verifying ages. You need to do more due diligence to verify ages, Tipster. Please, for the life of me. Again, I don't think you're trying to go for minors. That's not what I'm saying. But verify the fucking ages, Tipster. Oh my gosh.
Exchange, Tipster can be seen giving AP his personal phone number after the two had only spoken for a few months, following it up with, "Anything for a pink-haired hot goth mommy, LMAO, JK. What can I say? I got a thing for goth chicks." In the wake of this betrayal, Tipster leaked a message she had sent prior to posting their DM saying, "This whole thing is out of control, but I figured I may as well drag us both to hell." He also made a response of his own addressing the various goth mommy related texts, claiming he and AP had just been good friends and nothing more. Regardless of any perceived wrongdoing on his part, Tipster should have never spoken to this woman again. This is a conclusion he unfortunately didn't share, as the two were spotted together on a podcast less than 3 months later. Supposedly, Tipster's Discord mods had tried to convince him to ban AP, and he responded by leaving the server.
So after me...
That's about as much of a response as you can communicate.
And AP and some of the other people kind of patched things up. Like, I was...
in that context, anyways.
Comfortable allowing them to come back and join the community. And there were some situations with some of the admins where, like,
I still don't understand why a mother of 9 is, like, involving herself in fucking stupid-ass internet drama. That part, like, just didn't make any sense to me. Like, don't you have kids to be taken care of? You have 9 kids. Fucking love your kids some more.
understandably, they were uncomfortable about them coming back, where like they were looking for any excuse to get rid of AP. And on the 4th day, I got so tired of like hearing this. It's obvious that you guys want to do this, so just do it. And he's like, okay, we did it. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I left the server because I was
balls.
Yeah, I was like really mad about that because I'm like, look, dude, like I understand why people are kind of on edge about them coming back, but at the same time, like, why are we banning people off of nothing? Like there's nothing there.
Patching things up with AP and allowing her back into his community turned out to be a poor decision for Tipster, when just a few months later the same user she had complained to him about named Spondile reappeared on Discord, calling her a quote, meth head whore. In response,
that's very guttural. Wow.
The mother of the year had her young child call this internet rando the N-word.
Actually, you know what? No, keep me in the call. Come here. Say Spondile is a do it.
Crazy.
No.
She's 2 for 2 now. Oh, she's trying to get a kid to say that too?
Do it. No. Spondile's a yeah, call CPS. That's funny because a lot of people have tried, but it doesn't work, does it?
This clip was posted to...
Well, I don't know. You're a mother of 9 getting involved in internet drama and you're trying to get your kid to say the N-word. That's extremely unhinged behavior at the very least.
Twitter under...
I'm not advocating for CPS necessarily because we've had some false CPS calls in the past with Ethan Klein, but come on. Like, your behavior towards your kids is... it's concerning, to say the least.
The Tipster News hashtag, and as a result, the poster was swiftly blocked, with Tipster writing, "It's dumb that I am expected to respond to allegations that have nothing to do with me." He later confronted this ne'er-do-well.
It's okay to not respond to everything, Tipster. You know, because the more you respond to stuff, the more people are just gonna fucking throw shit your way because they know it gets to you. And that's how you enter your lolcow status. Maybe that advice was a little bit... it's too little too late because Tipster's already entered their lolcow status, but still.
On a Twitter space and elaborated on why they needed to be blocked.
Yo, you want to know why you got blocked?
Why did I get blocked, Tipster?
You're trying really hard to associate with me with a situation that I had nothing to do with. What the f does this have to do with me? I have nothing to do with what AP did. I'm not AP's handler.
Did I say you were?
No, but like, what do you think is the point of like mentioning me in the thread? Like, what's the point of that? She did something stupid.
You're her friends, and that's how people know her.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is the Tipster cycle on full display. He surrounds himself with insane people who inevitably do insane things, and then needlessly inserts himself into the middle of it. He was never asked to comment about AP and wasn't even tagged in the original thread, yet here he is on Twitter, having a meltdown anyways.
Maybe, honestly, like, this is just like a little bit of a theory on my part, but maybe content got so dry and Tipster's views got so low that maybe the only way Tipster felt like they could get some level of content is just by creating the fucking controversy themselves. Just pay this month's rent. Maybe rent was due. I don't know. That's just a little bit of a theory. A game theory, if you will.
His tantrum continued on Discord, where
clearly Tipster needs to work on their game too, with their flirting DMs we saw.
He was asked, "Are you gonna disassociate from AP?" He responded by unfriending the person who asked and blocking them on Twitter. Spondile later posted a thread claiming the father of the kid who called him the N-word had reached out alleging CPS was already investigating AP, and that one of her children had been born with meth in their system. This is the type of...
That's insane.
Person Tipster will...
That would probably be a valid reason to call CPS. And again, I'm not advocating that you should resort to CPS in every single instance, but if a kid was born with meth in their fucking system, this mother is, like, neglectful at the very least.
Repeatedly fall on his sword for in exchange...
That's, like, this... I mean, like, this mother's fucking... Like, we already knew she was kind of crazy, and there was already something sus about her, but... just got affirmed even more, just now.
For a potential 2 a.m. Gooner call. With these revelations, it seems Tipster...
A mother of 9 staying up till 2 a.m. to be on a Gooner call. Just imagine being the kids of that mother. That's gotta be terrible, knowing that your mom is staying up until 2 a.m. trying to fucking get some gooning in.
Finally cut off contact with AP for good, replacing her with a new goth mommy who went by Rum. You would hope...
Oh my god. Is she actually goth, or are you just saying that she's a new guy? Like,
contact with AP for good, replacing...
Like, is she like, here's the thing, right? Like, a lot of people use goth as, like, a fucking buzzword. Is she actually a goth mommy, or are people just using goth as, like, a fucking buzzword?
Her with a new goth mommy who went by Rum. You would hope by now he would have learned his lesson, but you would be wrong. On February 19th, 2023, Rum was caught liking a post containing what appeared to be an explicit drawing of a child. Ordinarily, this wouldn't present a major issue for Tipster, as Rum was not a key figure on his streams and nobody was even asking him to comment. Of course, this is Tipster we're talking about, so none of that mattered. One of his goth mommies was in peril, and it was time for her valiant knight to step in while debating none other than Boblax on the issue. As he'd state, I see the usual suspects are trying to call someone out for liking Lolly when they don't know what Lolly actually is. Some things never change. It's Lolly, Tipster. It's a cartoon of a child with nothing but a strip of clothing covering the flat chest and crotch. Why is it a child? 'Cause it had small tits? Guess grown women never had small tits before.
That's rough, Tipster. This is not the hill you want to die on. Lolly is a hard no. Trust me, gooning for a woman is just never that worth it. It is never worth gooning over a woman who likes Lolly. Like, it's never worth it, Tipster. You know, you can forget about this. There's plenty of fish in the sea. There's plenty of women with if women with big titties is your thing, there's plenty of women who've got giant tits in the world. You'll find them somewhere down the line, and you're still gonna have to work on your game if you want any chance with them. But it's not worth it, Tipster. All right, like, don't fuck up your career for this. Maybe it's a little too late.
Or small tits. The girl has no tits, Tipster. It's clearly a child. I have seen video game characters that look like this and no one bats an eye. When prompted to provide an example of any video game character that looked even remotely similar to the image in question, Tipster responded by saying, "My point is that this community is full of spurgs who know nothing about anime or anime culture commenting on anime culture, and it's dumb, dude." This was the hill.
I just think that this is not really a hill that you should want to die on. You know, defending Lolly in general is just very antisocial behavior. Defending Lolly in general is just behavior you would only see on the right. So people like fucking Tectone, people like Nuxtaku, people like Kirsch, you know, those are people that you would see defending Lolicon. Chibi reviews as well. It's like very antisocial behavior. It's very right-wing coded behavior. Not saying that the left never, like, engages with Lolly. I mean, you have people like Vosh, obviously, who's an outlier to that, obviously. But it's usually a behavior you see on the right that's defended.
Well, Tipster was choosing to die on.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like very weird behavior. I don't know. Like, it's like, for what? And I think ultimately it's just because Tipster simps for a lot of women, and he just does whatever he thinks they'll do to get with these women, I guess, or to simp for them in any way. It's simp behavior.
Literally posting, "I stand by my take. Rum did nothing wrong. I will die on that hill."
That's alright. Well, that's your choice, Tipster. I don't think it's a very good one, though.
Evidently upset after seeing this on his timeline, Keemstar replied saying, "You won't even debate the topic on my show." Tipster politely declined the invitation, but that's when PackGod joined the conversation to lay down the law. The definition of a lolly is a young or young-looking girl character in Japanese anime and manga. I don't see why you would defend the open sexualization of that. While this attempt to reason with Robert was commendable, in the end, not even PackGod was strong enough to overpower Tipster's block button.
I mean, like I said, ultimately, I don't know if Tipster... I don't actually know for sure if Tipster enjoys Lolly. I don't think... It's hard to fucking say, because defending Lolly in general is just bad overall. But I think the reason Tipster is defending it more than the actual Lolly itself is mainly just because he's simping for big titty women. Like, Tipster is just getting super gooner brained, ultimately. That's just what this comes down to. It's like super simp behavior.
The following day, Keemstar and PackGod loaded up a stream to talk about the situation when, in spite of previously refusing to do so, Tipster called in to explain his side.
and you have loyalty to your friends, so you're trying to defend your friend, right? But in this case, you lost. You lost on Twitter. You lost with your other friends. You lost with me.
Whoa, you lost on Twitter, guys. Life's over. GG's.
Lost Pat God. You lost the audience. Everyone disagrees with you.
I genuinely don't care about what people think about me on this issue.
As usual, Tipster was spiraling and struggling to defend himself, but he still had one last card to play in this debate.
This is about people liking stylized anime art, and people are trying to turn it into pedophilia, and I think it's like fucking gross. We're trying.
Just to be clear, Tipster, lolly is very, very adjacent to pedophile behavior. If you're into lolly, chances are you're most likely a pedophile.
Trying to turn this.
Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, if you're into lolly or if you defend it, like, if you defend the sexualization of drawn depictions of prepubescent children, like, you're most likely a pedophile. I don't know what to tell you. That's just how it is. Like, that's just a fact. I don't think that's, like, a super hot take to give.
To Tipster likes lolly and Tipster.
What am I supposed to
yourself?
What am I supposed to think when you're saying that you're gonna fucking die on this hill, Tips? Now he left. He left. I'm gonna click on Tipster right here. Verified Tipster, right? He blocked me.
I'm not blocked.
Yeah, because you have a pussy.
Clearly stressed out,
There's probably some level of truth to that. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Keemstar, but there's probably, yeah, the Tipster do be kind of simping a lot.
Decided to take a brief intermission from all of the drama when an OnlyFans creator came across his timeline, holding several Monster energy drink cans. Looking for an excuse to interact with her, he quote tweeted the post saying, "Turkey Tom's dream girl?" In a reply, one user wrote, "I'm pretty sure Tom is in a happy relationship, and not all guys want to leave their girl for a random e-girl, Tipster."
Damn. Talk about statements that did not age well. You know, guys, 6 months ago, we have 3 videos covering Turkey Tom's allegations. The BWC allegations, which seem to be real. Turkey Tom, God bless, man. I can relate to that one heavily. But yeah, Turkey Tom seems to attract a lot of crazy girlies into his life. And yeah, that seems to be his type. You know, again, talk about statements that just didn't fucking age well.
Sure. Maybe you should stop projecting. Tipster fired back with, "When I see people this concerned about my marriage, there is only one conclusion I can come to. This dude and others like him want to me, and they're mad because my wife gets to and they don't." What?
That's, I guess, an interesting way to cope about that. I don't think that you needed to jump through that many hoops to cope about it, Tipster, but hey, whatever helps you get through the hate, I suppose. And also, again, stop fucking tweeting everything. Like, not everything needs to be public.
What the fuck? These two continued their back and forth, concluding with Tipster writing, "Fat boy..." These two continued their back and forth, concluding with Tipster writing, "Fat boy bussy is best bussy."
You could tell even in that second take, Gamer from Mars tried really hard not to laugh at that one.
The only conclusion I can derive from this is that Tipster likes being penetrated, which I suppose is foreshadowing for later in the video.
Alright. What are you trying to say, Gamer from Mars? That all trans people like being penetrated or something? Is that the insinuation there, Gamer from Mars? Listen, trans people are people, as we know. They should exist. Unfortunately, a lot of conservatives disagree with that. They think that they're abominations. It's fucking disgusting, quite frankly. But they are not. They're people. Listen, I mean, some trans people, I guess, like getting penetrated. Some like doing the penetrating. I mean, I don't know. That's just the way I see it. I don't know. I just don't see them differently from cis men or women. I don't know.
It was also around this time that other users noticed Tipster had begun liking similar lolly posts from the same account that posted the original drawing. This was likely meant to serve as some strange act of solidarity with Rum. Eventually, Rum herself joined the stream with Keemstar and PatGod, and completely dismantled the ground Tipster had been defending her from.
Like,
okay, Rum.
As soon as it was like brought to my attention that it was in my likes, I just went and unliked it, and I didn't think anything of it.
Okay, so to confirm, Rum, you had accidentally liked that photo, correct?
Yeah.
Not only did...
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not impossible that you could just scroll through and like a bunch of shit in your social media feed. Like, yeah, it's possible. All right, like it's like it can happen, but I just don't. I don't know. It seems a little. Maybe this is just the way that I used to scroll through social media, but I always looked through posts before liking them as best as I could. You know, I didn't always used to do that. It was more of a bad habit in like middle school and early high school that I would just like everything. But like I can understand absent-mindedly liking everything. On Twitter, it's a little bit different though, because like you kind of have to, you can't just double tap a photo on Twitter to like something. You have to go out of your way to like something after examining it for a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching a little bit. You guys could think I'm reaching, but I just seems a little bit like I'm kind of getting that she's like using this as a bit of an excuse and that she's just unliking it because she got caught. I don't know. Maybe there's more to it, though.
Rum conceded that the image was probably lolly, but she hadn't even intentionally liked the post. It was also later confirmed that the drawing was indeed of a child. With this in mind, surely Tipster would back down from his position or at least move on. But no. Instead, he posted a response video to his channel blaming everyone else besides himself.
I have never defended the existence of lolly content, and I never will.
Well, you did, Tipster. Sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be mean to you, Tipster, but you did. You were defending Rum for, you know, you said you were dying on this hill that, I'm gonna actually pull up the tweet. Yeah, okay, so actually reading these tweets again, if we're gonna be in good faith, Tipster, I guess, technically wasn't defending the existence of lolly itself, not like in the way that Chibi Reviews does, where it's like, actually, it's fictional content, and it's not a real, living, breathing human, no. Like, Chibi Reviews is obviously super antisocial about it. Tipster, the way Tipster went about it's different. Tipster is just simping for Rum, basically. Like, Rum did nothing wrong. It's not actually a lolly image or whatever, and it's just, like, it's a bad take, and you're obviously just, like, tweeting about this just because you just wanted to simp for Rum a little bit, alright? That's what this comes down to. You got super Gooner simped-brained. Thankfully not for lolly, seemingly, but still for Rum nonetheless.
Now, we did eventually come to the conclusion that this was actually lolly based on some digging we did on the account that originally posted it. Well, actually, it was Shota. Basically lolly, but for male characters, for those of you who are unaware.
Yeah, both of which are bad. You probably didn't need to clarify that too much, since both are, I would say, equally bad, but I guess thank you for making that clarification, Tipster.
Which is also kind of funny in its own way, because everyone was arguing about how it looked like a little girl, and it was actually a boy.
Guys, men can never get abused. Little boys can never get abused.
And
I know that's not really what Tipster is arguing here, but, like, people could interpret, like, the problem is that Tipster's not taking this seriously, so people could interpret this as Tipster downplaying abuse that happens to young boys, and it just, I feel like of all the responses you could have given to this point, I don't think that this part was necessary. You could have easily kept this part out of the video, and you would have looked better.
Just looking for a bit of clarification, just to be sure.
Tipster, it's not difficult to be like, listen, I fucked up, I was simping for a girl, and clearly I got caught up in that, and, like, I didn't realize that this image was lolly, but now that I do know that it's lolly, I condemn it, I apologize, I fucked up, I'll try to do better. That's it, that's literally all Tipster had to do in this response. That's all Tipster had to do to move forward from this, and then, like, it could have just kept going.
But in my opinion, my biggest mistake was trying to have this conversation in this community, because they too aren't equipped to tackle this conversation properly. This community doesn't have the intellectual capacity to have these kinds of conversations. I get that we're human and we make mistakes sometimes, but y'all this one up so damn bad, it's crazy.
This is not the response you want to give, Tipster. You're adding so much more fuel to the fire.
And these are just some of the many issues I have had with the commentary community over the course of the past year. And it's the reason for the past year that I have been distancing myself from this community.
That's fine. Like, I think it's fine to want to distance yourself from the commentary community because it gets very toxic. That's one thing. But the nature of what you're defending is just very egregious. And, like, all you had to do was just be like, yeah, I fucked up. I won't do that again. But this didn't need to be a video that devolved into, yeah, I'm distancing myself from the commentary community. Commentary community is this, it's that, the other thing. That's not what this video should be about, Tipster. This is you responding to allegations of you defending Lolly. I don't think you're defending Lolly itself, just to be clear. But I do think that you got super simp-brained to the point where it clouded your judgment here.
Y'all made a mountain out of a grain of sand. Keemstar was saying that everyone should come together and oust me from the community, the same way they did with Flamenco.
Nobody gives a shit about Keemstar anymore. Like, who cares about this fucking guy? Like, Keemstar's a loser.
And to that I say, don't bother. I'll see myself on out.
In spite of constantly putting himself at the center of any turmoil that surrounded him, he seems to believe it's actually everyone else forcing him into this position. His proclamation that he would be leaving the community was also meaningless at this point, considering it's probably the 5th time he said this in the past 2 years. All this drama left Tipster in a precarious position, with few friends and even fewer goth mommies still associating with him. This is when...
Damn. That's the biggest dent in Tipster's, I guess, ego overall. Tipster's ego, it just like went down completely because no more goth mommies. Forget the commentary community, forget like all the other content. The goth mommies that don't want to associate with Tipster anymore, it's tough, man. That one really is going to take a hit on Tipster's mental health, unfortunately. Sad stuff. We've all been there, Tipster.
And he saw a golden opportunity to jump ship entirely to a much more welcoming community.
On August 5th, I was woken up by London Police Services pointing an assault rifle in my face at my home.
The disgrace created...
Yeah, Keffels is certainly an interesting content creator. And I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know the entire Keffels rabbit hole. Maybe Keffels rabbit hole is worth doing a throwback segment on someday. But to my understanding, Keffels was like, one of the biggest controversies was Keffels was trying to get kids as young as like 13 to be on like HRT and stuff, or like hormone therapy or whatever. It was actually like some really dangerous things, like actually irreversible like operations, not like puberty blockers. Puberty blockers and HRT, to my understanding, are two different things. Like, Keffels was actually trying to get kids as young as 13 to be on like HRT and stuff. It was like really fucking dangerous things. That's the like my understanding of the Keffels controversy. I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that.
Peter Keffels is somebody I've discussed previously on my channel over her various antics. By 2023, she had already made herself a pariah in most online spaces due to a series of slanderous lies she spread about other online figures and her local police department. She did, however, still maintain a small following of ardent supporters, and among them was Tipster for some reason. That reason became more clear when, upon doing a scroll through of Keffels' Instagram, one user came to the horrifying realization.
Listen, I'm not trying to be that guy, but if you scroll through the Keffels' Instagram, just scroll through. Listen, if you're a top tier gooner,
of Keffels' Instagram,
it's pretty easy to see why Tipster, got sucked into yet another woman.
One user came to the horrifying realization that Tipster had
At the end of the day, like, a Tipster's biggest crime is just being a huge fucking gooner. Too much gooning. Stop gooning, Tipster. You need to get some Turkey Tom merch. Turkey Tom's hat that says stop gooning. That should be something that Tipster needs.
Liked every single post. Even on his stream, Tipster was giving Keffels unusually positive coverage.
So Keffels usually kind of dresses up like tomboyish, right? Can we just agree that she cleans up real nice? You know what I'm saying? Like when she, maybe puts on a little bit of lipstick and, puts on a nice outfit and stuff like that, she cleans up like a shiny new penny. Is that wrong for me to say? I don't think so.
Robert's association with Keffels began to draw the ire of many of his followers who were increasingly outraged by her behavior, including attempts to deplatform creators she didn't like, trying to get the internet gossip forum Kiwi Farms taken down, and founding the controversial Discord server Catboy Ranch.
Well, I mean, I sympathize with the idea that Kiwi Farms is a very antisocial sphere online that's used to dox people online, but people could look at what Keffels is doing and saying, hey, it's against free speech and like where do we draw the line and stuff. I still don't know, like, the details of every single controversy Keffels was involved in, but she just seemed generally unlikable by a majority of the community.
That did not require age verification to join, leading to accusations of grooming. Apparently, none of these were red flags to Tipster, who went on to use a clip of her talking for a soundboard.
We love Gooner games.
Oh, I'm getting so horny. Thank you, Daddy. I'll shut up.
We love us some Gooner games around here, okay?
People's disdain for
Oh my god, Tipster. God, jeez.
Very quickly got under Tipster's skin, who once again privated his Twitter account before making a post announcing he would be leaving.
Get used to hearing that a lot. Tipster privated or Tipster blocked you. Get used to that.
The internet. I'm probably gonna be taking a brief break for a couple days. Admittedly, my mental health hasn't been the best as of late, and I just need some time to decompress. He returned to Twitter less than 12 hours later. Given Robert's history with women on the internet, it's hardly a stretch to imagine he had ulterior motives with befriending Keffels. Of course, it upset Tipster greatly when anyone pointed that fact out. This is a common trope with those weirdos. I am friends with women, therefore I must want to sleep with them.
Well, you're certainly not helping yourself with the allegations when you're constantly destroying your own fucking credibility and destroying your own reputation just to, like, go to bat for a lot of these women. That seems to be, like, a common denominator with all these situations. That's what it looks like, Tipster. Sorry. Maybe, like, don't try to fucking destroy your reputation, especially when it comes to Lolly as well. Again, I don't think Tipster was trying to defend Lolly itself. I just think that Tipster was defending a woman who kind of got caught red-handed with some form of Lolly, and Tipster was like, I will die on this hill. I see the best in her, or whatever. That's what that comes across as, and now you're doing the same thing for Keffels in some of her controversies.
It's a very caveman-brained way of thinking. Keffels was not the only girl Tipster was pursuing, as one user caught him liking posts from an OnlyFans creator on Instagram. Once again, he responded by saying, "Didn't you know, guys? Married men can't like content featuring women." It was around this time another one of...
I mean, I suppose it depends on the boundaries that you have in your marriage. Whatever boundaries you have set up in your marriage is none of my business. But it's certainly not helping your case, Tipster. You're not beating the gooning allegations anytime soon.
Robert's goth mommies, who went by Hannah Animal, turned on him. While it's unclear what exactly sparked this betrayal, she replied to another OnlyFans creator who went by Tiny Dancer, writing, "Tipster sent me your nudes, by the way, after you sent it to him." Supposedly, the picture sent to Tipster was meant to be used as promotion for her OnlyFans account, and she was simply asking for his opinion. This raises multiple questions. Why would anyone want Tipster's opinion on their OnlyFans content? And also, why did Tipster instantly send this to another girl? The answer to these questions remain elusive. However, he did eventually respond saying, "I can 100% own the criticism that I should not have sent the picture in question to Hannah." Hannah was not satisfied with this response and continued posting about Tipster, claiming he had added her on Snapchat without ever being sent her username. After the loss of Hannah Animal from his goth mommy corral, Tipster's roster had an opening. He immediately tried filling it with various transgender members of Keffels' community.
He immediately tried filling it into Keffels. That's what I fucking thought he was about to say for a moment. Fuck me, dude. Oh, I hate it here. I'm so going to hell.
In one post, he can be seen replying to a trans woman holding up a bottle of her own breast milk, urging the poster to drink it.
Tipster, come on. I'm gonna say that a lot in this video. Come on, Tipster. Like, you sit here and you complain that people are like, oh, Tipster, like, you know, married men can't, like, do this, and this to, like, other women, or, oh, you know, like, just because I simp for women means I want to fuck, like, and now you're asking a woman to drink her own breast milk? Like, come on, Tipster. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? It's like, I don't know if Tipster understands how they come across to some of these people when he communicates these things, but you don't come across as particularly, like, flirtatious or anything. I feel like a lot of these people are going to see you as, like, kind of weird.
I looked it up because I couldn't help myself, and yes, trans women can have breast milk, which our...
Yeah, that's the bigger question, is how the fuck can trans women even, like, produce milk? How's that work? Is technology just getting better for, like... hormone therapy and like transitioning into being trans? Is it really that effective? Wow. Time's moving quickly. Just imagine where trans people are going to be in the year 2050. That's incredible. We're really in Cyberpunk 2077 soon enough.
Friends
I'm going to be such a boomer by then.
Seemed very interested in the taste of. In this era, his liked post did not fare much better, with one captioned, "What is the first thing you would do to me if you had me strapped down to a bed?" One
Tipster, for the love of God, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't reply. Don't say anything, Tipster. Move on. Keep scrolling.
Boblax reemerged to remind Tipster that he was in fact already married. Robert replied, calling him obsessed and weird. Keffels herself eventually grew tired of Tipster's neurotic and strange behavior, releasing a video titled, "Why I'm No Longer Friends with Tipster." In the upload, she shows a supposed leaked DM wherein he claims he is planning on cutting her off. As it turned out, this was a poorly orchestrated publicity stunt, with the two hoping they could fool their many detractors.
Why even why even orchestrate something like this? Why? You're just giving, like, Tipster, you're already, like, in the direction of your, like, going in the direction of your lolcow era, and you're just giving your enemies more ammunition to, like, say dumb shit about you. Oh my god. Like, what people, like, I swear to God, I feel like a lot of people online just don't know how to navigate controversy in any meaningful way. Holy fuck, Tipster, why do this? Why do this?
Regardless, there was still a nugget of truth that managed to slip its way into her video.
Tipster, I literally stuck my neck out for you. I introduced you to all my friends, even though you're kind of like a creepy chaser, man. Like, you slide into my trans friends' DMs, and you're way too friendly.
Well, we all know the reason for that.
Like, there's obviously something going on there.
Yeah?
It's really not cool. And I'm just like...
He was certainly thinking with some part of his body.
Really?
Or they were. Sorry, I keep forgetting. I'm not misgendering Tipster on purpose, by the way. Like, if I refer to Tipster as he, just understand I'm not doing that on purpose.
Disappointed.
Tipster soon returned to the internet, pretending nothing had happened. By this point, most of his friends had turned on him, or simply distanced themselves. That being said, one of the few who still remained by his side in spite of everything was Boblax.
Alright, Boblax, hell yeah, the MVP of this video, truly.
Well,
Boblax is mogging. But Boblax is becoming a looks maxer here. No, not really.
One of the few who still remain.
Ever since Boblax went into their non-binary days, they became cringe. No, I'm just kidding. We love non-binary people.
By his side in spite of everything was Boblax. While he had been an outspoken critic of Tipster and occasionally poked fun at him, the two had never truly cut ties. That was until June of 2023, when their friendship ended for good. It started with Boblax mistakenly leaking one of his own alt accounts on stream that went by the username Throbbin Horsecock.
Alright.
The majority of posts from this account were unserious and
he's also got the N-word on that account as well.
Borderline nonsensical.
Very edgy teenager thing to do of you, Boblax.
But Keffels latched on to one post in particular, implying he was transphobic. As you
let me see.
Latched on to one post in particular, implying
trans women aren't real women, but I'd still fuck the shit out of them. So, trans women are valid, and they are real women. Secondly, good for you. I don't judge people who are into that sort of thing. I mean, it just sounds like a typical closeted conservative, right? Like, wants to fuck trans people and jerks off to them, but hates them outwardly. Or pretends to hate them, I guess we'll say. Maybe they actually do hate them, because there's a thin line between love and hate. Who knows what the real motivator is. I think they do want to fuck them, though, deeply.
Transphobic. As usual, Tipster soon joined in, taking Keffels' side for no discernible reason. Boblax decided the best course of action was to respond from his alt account.
Clearly, this community can't handle my 9 inches. Goodbye. It's a valid reason.
With posts.
It's not for everybody.
Like, damn, Keffels is thick.
Sometimes when you... Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? I just paused at a weird time.
Respond from his alt account with posts like, damn, Keffels is thick. She one of the real ones for sure.
That's fucking crap. fucking terrible. That is fucking terrible. Oh my god, that is insane that you would tweet something like this.
This strategy only served to infuriate her further as she blocked Boblax before posting.
I can't even blame Keffels for blocking you on this one. That's fucking crazy.
Boblax
that you would tweet something like that.
Is currently being a massive creep and using a burner account to sexually harass me. In response, Boblax posted from his main account showing DMs from Keffels, where she had sent him a video of her breast jiggling. He also DMs from Keffels, where she had sent...
In the clip, I was making fun of how they gave me Rouge, the bat jiggle physics. I don't know what SA2 is. The bat jiggle physics? Do you like this meme? So you're just sending Boblax like a fucking Twitter meme of your breasts jiggling or something? That's what this is?
Sent him a video of her breasts jiggling. He also attached a screenshot of messages with Tipster from several days prior where Robert says, "You've never said anything that I view as transphobic. I don't think Keffels thinks you're a fake ally." Seeing his messages being posted as a defense against Keffels upset Tipster greatly, so he decided to bring Boblax on a stream for a debate.
Yeah, so that's why I'm upset. I mean, and hopefully you do forgive me, because, like, I did not think... I genuinely just didn't think you would mind, because it's not like you said anything secret. Like, I feel like everything you send those DMs are stuff you'd say publicly, too, right? But,
yeah, I don't know. There's nothing bad in it. I just don't like the idea of, like, just putting my shit out there, like, just completely, like, unprovoked.
That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I mean, you're very public about responding to these girls, being a total fucking gooner in public. Like, if you don't want things to be out there in the public, why don't you just, like, keep it private? Keep the same energy and stop fucking tweeting everything, Tipster. I don't know.
Because, again, it felt like I was being dragged into something that didn't have anything to do with me.
I think it's relevant. I didn't think it was random, but, you know.
Tipster says this, ignoring the fact that he had already inserted himself for no reason as mentioned prior. Keffels only continued to lambaste Boblax after the stream, and now claiming he was also racist. Her evidence for this was an infamous song Boblax made several years prior regarding the Black Lives Matter movement.
Ah, yes. If you know Boblax lore, I think everybody is familiar with this song.
Some people don't know the struggle.
Oh my god, he's fucking eating fried chicken as well. Come on, Boblax. This is insane.
Being black sometimes we cause it's cool, but if anyone else is they are racist.
Alright, that's... wow. How old were you when you made this, Boblax? Were you like a fucking teenager? Were you in high school?
This.
Were you groomed into saying this, Boblax? It's okay, you could tell me. You could personally comment on this video and let me know.
Boblax and Tipster had a back and forth on Twitter, although only Boblax's side has been archived. He says, "Why are you not defending me against Keffels slandering me as a racist? She's slandering me, Tipster. You defended Rum when she was being called a pedo, but you can't defend me now because it's Keffels doing it." Robert then messaged Boblax personally saying, "If you are looking for a reason to cut me off, just do it. You already said on Augie's stream that you were upset with me, so just go, dude." Robert
this also doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because Tipster not that long ago was defending a person who had fucking, or liked a lolly image, and he was saying, oh, but it wasn't a lolly image, and then before that, they were, like, very cool with somebody who was racist. They were simping for a mommy who called someone else the N-word. So, just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me that Tipster would get really upset at this, or like have any heat with Bobby for this situation in particular.
Not getting the response.
I'm pretty sure Tipster and Bobby are on good terms now, because I do remember from the impromptu Alex the Fiction interview that Tipster mentioned that Tipster and Bobby were on like solid terms after this whole feud that went on. I didn't know the details of the feud that happened, but it seems like they're on okay terms now.
He had hoped for, he took it upon himself to block Boblax, officially ending their multi-year friendship. As is customary at this point, during this drama, another girl came forward with more screenshots of Tipster being weird in her DMs, and even offering to kiss her before deleting the message after she ghosted him. On the bright side, Robert noticed that he and Keffels were briefly trending on Twitter as a result of the whole ordeal. Although, as many pointed out, this was due to everybody laughing at them. One of the people mocking him at the time was the YouTuber Turkey Tom, who soon after posted a video documenting many of Robert's more cringe-worthy posts. His video ended with a diss track featuring Brandon Buckingham, where...
Of course. We love Brandon Buckingham being fucking... Wow. We love it. Our favorite Sam Hyde enthusiast, right-wing enthusiast.
And he danced in...
I don't know. I personally am not a fan of Brandon Buckingham just because of their association with Sam Hyde and just like their like sort of right-wing take on stuff. But, you know, I wouldn't say my hatred for Brandon Buckingham is that deep. Obviously, he and Purple Perry Gaming had the massive feud. I personally don't think it was a really good idea for Brandon Buckingham to make a video on Purple Perry Gaming because if anything, Purple Perry Gaming, I would say overall benefited from the situation. Even if Perry was getting tons of harassment for weeks from that situation, ultimately Perry still wound up like benefiting from it because he like almost doubled in subscriber count and also got more views out of it. So overall Perry did benefit from it once the heat of it died down.
In front of a rented Lamborghini.
Italy after Oreos, word up to Nick. Before we wrap up, got a question real quick. Why do all the hot ones not like dick?
Tipster seemed to enjoy the video, posting, "Okay, I won't lie, this diss track kinda slaps," with a Snoop Dogg gif attached. Given his track record of almost anything getting under his skin, many people saw this as a cope. To make matters worse, Tom's video...
It probably is a cope, but for the first time, this is what Tipster should have been responding with to all the hate. Like saying, hey, you know, like all this hate is like funny. Like make a joke out of it, make a meme out of it or something. Like the way you respond to controversy does matter. Like if Tipster was responding the way that they just did now, like earlier, I think that could have been an avenue they could have taken to make a lot of it die down very early on. But instead they just, like everything just had to be content. Everything had to be online. It was fucking strange.
Was the catalyst for people to begin digging into Tipster's history online and documenting his behavior for kiwi farms. What they found was truly fascinating. On September 20th, 2006, an account based in Fontana, California made a post on a developer forum that reads, "Hello, my name is Robert Santion, and one of my biggest dreams is to develop a revolutionary operating system. I know, I am aiming pretty high, but it has always been a dream of mine."
Hey, you know what they say, always chase your dreams. Nothing is impossible, especially for Tipster. I believe in you, Tipster. Keep chasing your dreams. Keep living your life.
Anyways, I have one problem. I know absolutely nothing about OS development. No code knowledge, no idea what I need, where to start, or even how to get the knowledge and supplies I need.
We all gotta start somewhere. I mean, I started doing music as a hobby, and there's a lot I don't know about music, so it's gonna take me a while to get there as well. We've all been there, Tipster, okay? I feel for Tipster here.
Unfortunately, Terry Davis wasn't on this forum to help, and his pleas would go unanswered as other users on the forum were not too keen on walking him through the intricacies of creating an entire operating system from scratch. While a bit humorous on its own, the reason this was so important is because the username was quickly traced back to a raunchy hookup site. Not only that, but for some reason this account, also based in Fontana, California, had its gender set to female.
This is where the little bit of a gender bender fantasy came into play. Oh.
If there was any doubt that this was him,
You got Christine Gnome's husband all over again.
Provided birth date was January 1st, 1987, just 6 days before Tipster's. When confronted, Robert adamantly denied these allegations, claiming it couldn't have been him because he was happily married.
And with GNN, it appears an old dating profile from 2008 where you pretended to be a woman has surfaced. Any comment? I've never used any dating services at all, so if you think you found something about me being on a dating service, that's not the case.
Oh, you sound so nervous, Tipster. That doesn't sound like somebody who's too confident in that.
I mean, I met my wife when I was still in high school, so I never had to use a dating profile.
Just because we already know that just because Tipster has a wife, that doesn't stop Tipster from gooning to other women. We know that one. Ain't no one gonna buy that excuse, Tipster. You're gonna have to do a little better than that.
Where do people come up with this shit?
Another ancient Tipster artifact that was uncovered was a clip of him showing a list of videos he had flagged to YouTube, claiming they had been critical of him.
pretty public in the past with the fact that when I was a smaller creator, I flagged down quite a few videos that were critical of me. In fact, we can kind of scroll through the list here.
While it's impossible to make out any details from this clip, it's likely Robert was abusing YouTube's takedown system.
I mean, it can come off as that, but if, like, flagging can mean just, like, reporting the video that's critical of you, which is still very cringe, but it wouldn't be as bad as, like, abusing the DMCA system to try to get a video removed, which is very different. I don't think that that's what Tipster was doing from the sound of it. Tipster said that they flagged it, which means that they probably reported it. It's still cringe to, like, try to get videos taken down that are critical of you, because, like, at the end of the day, who gives a shit?
Whatever the cause may be, his reputation was now in the dumpster fully. Along with losing most of his friends, his viewership had now dwindled to just 10% of what it had once been.
When I was part of the commentary crowd, my live streams were pulling 500 to 1,000 live viewers, and my videos were at minimum getting 10K views a video. And now I've gotten to a point where, like, on a good day, I'll have like 200 live viewers on a stream, but I'm averaging about 150 during topics. And my videos are lucky if they break 1,000 sometimes. So it's been a big dip to leave the commentary crowd. I'll say this, I don't regret it. A lot of the reason I left is just because my morals didn't align with that community anymore. It was a mental...
I mean, like I said, that makes sense. You know, the commentary community is very toxic, and after a while, it can be very debilitating. You get tired of doing commentary for a while, and, like, I've dabbled in commentary here and there, and I've gotten bored of it too. You know, it's not something that people can do forever unless you're fucking insane, like Nicholas Diorio. You're just, like, constantly pumping content over here, content over here. Nicholas Diorio is a tank of his own, though.
Health choice. It wasn't good for my mental health. So I don't regret leaving. Like, even if my channel never bounces back, I don't regret leaving.
This rapid loss of fans triggered YouTube to stop promoting his channel, even removing it from search results. This is something Robert tried to resolve by reaching out to a YouTube representative, although his efforts weren't in vain. He was essentially told to just make better content, something that appeared to be far out of Tipster's reach. I say this because the majority of his videos and streams were now heavily political in nature, falling more in line with the content Keffels produced. Of course, this only further alienated his audience, who had followed him for less serious internet drama content. Fortunately for Tipster, he did get a momentary boost in viewership. Sadly, this boost largely came from onlookers who were mesmerized by the train wreck he would soon create.
Dude, you can just say n***ers.
On February 6th,
that came out of fucking nowhere. Oh my god. That was like an actual jump scare of Vosh just saying that.
2024, political streamer Vosh was attempting to demonstrate the fundamentals of men's fashion for his viewers, showing off a sleek jacket. Tragically, when he went to save an image of the jacket, his recently saved files popped up on stream.
You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm...
Damn. When he saved the image of the jacket, he found the folder of what he was jacking it to was discovered. That's sad.
Referring to.
The fucking lolly in 4K, buddy. That's rough.
Vosh quickly rushed to delete the stream VOD, but it was too late. Next to a folder labeled taxes were countless pornographic drawings of young-looking girls as well as horses. After seeing
Yikes!
This clip, Tipster took it upon himself to drop some unasked-for wisdom on Twitter, advising Vosh against viewing or saving pornography on his computer in the future.
Not for nothing, Tipster, but, like, you're 2 for 2 now on what seemingly is defending Lolly. Like, again, I don't think Tipster himself condones Lolly, or actually unironically thinks that Lolly is good for the world, but that's 2 situations now that you got yourself into, where Lolly, you're seemingly, like, on the devil's advocate side against a situation where Lolly was exposed. Man, Tipster really just does not do themselves any favors in this situation.
Most others were not as charitable or kind to Vosh after seeing the sort of things he was into. One of these detractors was Ethan Klein, who commented on the situation during an episode of the H3 podcast. To provide context for his viewers, he also played additional clips from Vosh's past.
The argument that I was making, and I've made this argument a bunch of times, and I've addressed this poorly made argument a bunch of times here on this stream. Why is the possession of child pornography immoral? Because it hurts people to make child yeah? Because you have to hurt children to make it. That's why it's immoral. It's not magically immoral. It's immoral because of the harm that is caused by it. So.
And also the things that it enables. It enables pedophiles to jerk off to it too. That as well.
Do we not possess other things that
you sound like someone who's trying to rationalize child?
It's such a weird argument. Like, you could tell that, like, Vosh is from, like, these weird, like, online debate communities because he's trying to, like, debate bro his way out of, like, a CP or lolly. It's fucking... It's certainly a weird take.
Like that is an insane... That's actually...
It's like, okay, this is wrong.
That is not better.
For whatever reason, Tipster was appalled by this coverage, saying, "Genuinely disappointed seeing what Ethan did to Vosh earlier tonight. He used the same out-of-context clips alt-writers have used to defame Vosh time and time again." Ethan quickly responded to this post on his Instagram story.
He posts my tweet and says, "Cheers, my horse. Love ya. No pedo."
By this point, Tipster's
that's the petty Ethan Klein that we all know and love.
Reputation.
I just feel like of all things to call out Ethan Klein for, why did Tipster choose this situation? There's other things you can criticize Ethan for. I don't think this was one of them. Like, Ethan was right in this situation in their interpretation of Vosh leaking their fucking CP stash, or their, excuse me, lolly stash. Oh, there's a difference, guys. Whoops.
Was already so bad that nobody bothered to take him seriously. This didn't stop him from continuing to lambaste Ethan, claiming he was a snake. I have no idea what caused Tipster to become this enraged, but his next move was to load up a stream and begin yelling at his chatters, calling them sheep for siding with Ethan. If only Tipster spent as much time exercising as he does defending Lolly, he'd be running marathons by now. A large part of this stream was also spent demanding Keemstar stop typing in his chat. Even after being banned, this was to little avail as he simply came back on an alt account. As Tipster began banning people in his chat who wrote anything negative against Vosh, one of his mods spoke up saying, "The image Vosh had should definitely be criticized. I don't think it's right hiding those comments expressing their disgust." Their moderator status was quickly removed. Tipster's comment section did not fare much better, with the few remaining fans making statements like, "And with that, I'll be unsubscribing. Never mind the fact that you're willing to associate with terrible people like Vosh and Keffels, but the fact that you're willing to bat for the former after what's been leaked is insane." On the bright side, Robert was once again trending.
It just seems like Tipster has like a massive habit of just like self-sabotaging their career over and over and over and over again. And I think Tipster overall throughout the years has needed like a college lesson, or like any lesson for that matter, on what to do when it comes to dealing with internet controversy. I think that's would greatly benefit Tipster here.
On Twitter.
Just like throughout this situation.
Something
because like ultimately, I don't know if Tipster can't come back from this, but they've kept going down the lolcow rabbit hole over and over and over and over again.
He was overjoyed about. In a stream the following week, he did attempt to stem the bleeding somewhat by announcing he was throwing out all of his anime.
This whole situation has honestly ruined anime for me so fucking much that I never want to watch anime again. I don't want anything to do with anime. I got my waist bin here, and I've got some of my anime. We got Death Note, one of my favorites. F it, throw it in the bin. We got some Dragon Ball Z, another great anime show. Throw it in the fucking bin.
Alright, I think you're overcorrecting here a little bit. You don't have to have anime ruined for you as a whole. Personally, I have made the decision to just not jork it to anything anime related because a lot of anime depictions are of girls that are underage, so I think that's probably, that's just a safe thing that I've done. But this is overcorrecting, and it feels like you're kind of doing this performance on stream to squeeze any last bit of relevance you can get. You're getting a little bit desperate here for content, Tipster. I know views aren't as high as they once were, but come on, like, you're... Man, I want to be able to, like, reach out to Tipster directly, you know what I mean? Like, I actually legitimately do think Tipster has potential to, like, get back up there and, like, you know, do better when it comes, like, content-wise. Like, you don't have to appeal to the commentary community. You don't have to do, like, right-wing bullshit, obviously. You don't have to do anything desperate to get content up there again. But you don't need to be public about every single little thing about your life either.
Ethan calls people he views as lolicons, he calls them lollipops. So we'll get rid of lollipop chainsaw. I'm so sick of anime at this point. I want nothing to do with it.
This gesture didn't seem to move anyone to his side, and Robert soon established a new rule that if anybody...
Well, obviously it's not going to move anyone to the side because they just see it as like, oh, Tipster's crashing out. Oh, it's getting to you, Tipster. Oh, like everybody can see that you're crashing out. That's it. Like it's getting to you. And, yeah, they're just going to keep fucking doing it.
Mention the Vosh incident or his defense of it, they would be immediately, you guessed it, banned.
Mods, crush the skull, thank you.
This inspired detractors to see how fast they could speedrun getting removed from Tipster's livestream.
Ban any variation of laughter in the chat.
In spite of
yeah,
his best effort.
I think people were doing this speedrun with Pokemon as well.
Efforts to bury the situation, it still haunted him everywhere he went. In one instance, he joined a call with a small streamer to discuss an unrelated topic. That's when an avowed consumer of Lolicon joined the call and proceeded to debate Tipster on why he continued to defend Vosh. Somehow, Robert lost this debate.
Being a hypocrite is a part of being human, you know?
I don't see it as being hypocritical, though. I think I'm pretty clear on what my rationale is here.
You already say that, you know, the folder is probably like lolly, right?
I mean, I haven't seen it, but like people say it is, so I'll take their word for it.
So if that is already the case, and therefore the logical conclusion probably is that Vosh is consuming lolly, right?
Also, is this Food Shops, by the way, on the fucking call? I recognize their voice. If it's Food Shops, like, there's a clip of Food Shops admitting that they consume Lolicon content. So I don't, like, everything that I feel like Food Shops is doing here is a bit of a projection. Food Shops is fucking weird as shit. That's actually a person I want nothing to do with. Like, Food Shops is weird. Like, I don't want anything to do with Food Shops. Once they admitted that they consume lolly content, that was it for me. I was like, I clocked out. Like, I didn't want anything to do with Food Shops' content.
Right.
If he downloaded it, like, I guess you could say that, but like, what my thing is, like, did he know? That's my thing. This seems like a real stretch. In my opinion, this seems like a real stretch. What? But I'm giving you, like, the logic that I had when I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt on it, and it just seems like you don't like my opinion, which is fine.
No, it's not about your opinion
whatsoever. I didn't even come here to talk about, like, this stupid shit, all right? Like, I came here for a completely different conversation. Yeah, Keldos, I told you it was a bad idea for me to come on this show, and, like, I'm out of here. Peace.
Wait, Tipster, you could have...
Even Keffels was now beginning to distance herself from Tipster. Initially, she had gone...
Whoa, is it the performative kind, or is she actually distancing herself from Tipster?
...to bat for him against Ethan, but she quickly changed her tune as the tides turned. Eventually, she unfollowed Robert on Twitter and released a video blaming him for backlash she had received, and claimed his call-out post on Ethan was stupid.
A lot of people said that I needlessly inserted myself into all of that drama that happened, and I wasn't planning on weighing in. None of this was my problem. But then my friend Tipster decided to call out Ethan Klein. And then when Ethan Klein responded, I was like, okay, I have two friends now who are getting put on blast by a really large content creator. I decided that I was going to get into the mud because I care about my friends. I don't want to see my friends getting attacked. And that was a huge mistake. But sometimes you just gotta sit back. You don't always need to get directly in the mud.
In leaked messages with Tipster, somebody named Fembro encouraged him to stop associating with Keffels, showing him that on top of everything else, she had now been interacting with some of his most vocal detractors. Robert responded by saying, "Do you think I don't know about this? Are you stupid?" He then blocked Fembro. Keffels was not the only one turning on him at the time. In March of that year, one of his moderators had their permissions revoked. In response, they leaked the twist that while Robert was defending Lolly at night, during the day he worked at a public high school, and included screenshots of his annual income, which was 6 figures when including benefits.
I mean, okay. Obviously it's concerned. I wouldn't quite say that Tipster was defending Lolly necessarily, like the concept of Lolly. Like, again, this situation that we saw earlier with Rum, that woman Rum, like, obviously, like, Tipster was very fucking gooner-brained and defending, like, Rum as a person. and saying, oh, but it's not lolly. That's definitely not, it's totally not what it was, even though it was lolly. So obviously Tipster is still in the wrong regardless, but that's very different from Tipster defending lolly itself. Do you understand the logic there? I suppose it could be even more concerning if Tipster actually does work in a school, though, but still not necessarily enough to say that, like, Tipster wants to, like, harm children or anything. I just don't fully believe that narrative.
Included screenshots.
If that's what the direction of this content is going to go in, unless something proves otherwise.
Of his annual income, which was 6 figures when including benefits. This level-headed approach of essentially doxing Tipster was certainly unique, although it did not result in their moderator privileges being reinstated.
I don't know. I think it's unnecessary to leak that Tipster works as a teacher in the real world, unless, like, it's confirmed that Tipster is, like, actually a threat to children, which I highly doubt. I don't think it was necessary to leak that information out. I think that could have stayed in Tipster's personal life. Clearly, it was a disgruntled mod that got upset that they can't be in Tipster's community anymore.
Than anything, this is reflective of the people Robert was associating himself with. After cutting off the toxic commentary community, he replaced them with increasingly unhinged individuals. As part of his rebrand to be more inclusive, Robert began promoting a charity organization called Rainbow Passage. This was a bizarre project that sought to rehouse legal-aged queer people with volunteers over Discord.
Oh my god. Do not tell Twitter in 2026, because there are so many right-wing people on Twitter that would get so fucking heated. You have no idea.
Upon seeing this, Boblax returned to the Tipsterverse to transvestigate.
Transvestigate. Alrighty.
He found the...
I learned what that term was in, there was a video that I covered the other day. I learned that term the other day. I forget, like, from which coverage it was specifically. But that was a new term.
Organizers to be largely unqualified, and discovered volunteers of the charity doxing people in their official Discord server.
This douche, Dr. Blank's phone number. Beep, 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 beep. Feel free to be rude to him. This is a Rainbow Passage Discord server. We have Alice here, who is a volunteer right here. Volunteer.
Tipster, for his part, claimed to have no involvement in the charity beyond retweeting one of their posts. Although this seems to have been a lie, as he was one of only 4 people their official Twitter account followed. Boblax continued to dig deeper into the organization, finding that their director of resettlement...
Seems like the Boblax versus Tipster arc, some things just never change. You know, they may be on good terms now, but who knows how long it's gonna stay that way.
Engaged in puppy play, as well as 9/11 roleplay. What the hell does that even mean? This sounds like a joke, but it is unfortunately very real and very strange.
Alright. 9/11. Hey guys, let's roleplay being terrorists or being civilians that are scared. That's okay. That's... It's not even like a fictional story that they're doing. It's not like a Marvel, like, terrorist attack or whatever. This is like a real event that they're doing, which is pretty crazy.
Covering this on Boblax's stream, the director...
And Discord communities are so fucking weird. Like, never get involved in too deep in Discord communities. There are some really, really weird ones, for sure.
Question resigned.
I remember when I was 18 years old, I joined, like, it was like some mental health Discord or whatever, just because I was curious about it. And there were some pretty weird people that I knew for about maybe, I would say, 2 to 3 months. Not my proudest moment, not my proudest period of all time, definitely. But that did happen.
And began angrily messaging people on Discord. This led Tipster to post, "Imagine attacking and harassing a charity because someone you dislike retweeted it. And you harassed the charity so much that you pushed someone to resign from their position. Seek help, you clearly need it." The entire Rainbow Passage group...
Did Tipster even look at any of the context that Boblax was trying to bring up?
...seems to have now rebranded or shut down altogether following this drama. With the charity now gone, Boblax set his sights back on Tipster.
Dude, why is every response to everything underwear lending service? Dude, why is Tipster only responding and talking about, like, trans people and their... What? Come on, bro, stop.
I mean, Boblax, are you really that outraged? I just don't believe that Boblax is really that outraged by this. I think Boblax is kind of being a little bit performative for stream.
Stop, bros.
Seeing the Rainbow Passage fallout, multiple people reached out to Blacks with screenshots of embarrassing messages Robert had sent over Discord. The first set come directly from Keffel's Catboy Ranch server, which of course Tipster had joined. He can be seen expressing his desire to, quote, cage up other users of the server.
Goonernomicon Tipster. We've really opened the Goonernomicon for this segment today, huh? Tipster has, you know, if we're on, like, if we only open the book on the Goonernomicon, and, like, the Goonernomicon book is, like, the same length as the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows book, Tipster is on, like, a page 800 of that shit. He is soaring through that. He also has the different volumes of the Goonernomicon as well.
Well as discussing HRT and the shape of his man boobs. If it makes you feel any better, my tits look horrible too. The second batch of messages come from Robert's own paywall Discord chat. Here he can be seen exposing his most loyal fans to a photograph of his feet.
Alright, I think we could have done without seeing that. I don't think we needed to see proof that he was sending feet pics to them, but... Alright, well, I guess I'll add Tipster's feet to my mental recollection of things.
Of course, no Tipster DM leak would be complete without several messages expressing his love for goth mommies. Many of these logs were tame compared to past leaks and all came from semi-public Discord chats. Regardless, a large spectacle was still made upon their release because by this point, Tipster had more hate watchers than genuine viewers. He was spiraling down a very dark path that could only end with a lengthy Kiwi Farms thread and dozens of A-logs attempting to ruin his life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Kiwi Farms at all. Kiwi Farms is just like an antisocial sphere that just is known for harassing and doxing people. Like, mainly, like, actual lolcows like Daniel Larson, Joshua Block, people with intellectual developmental disabilities, and just, like, a ton of other people. It's just, like, a very weird sphere that you never want to attach yourself to, ever.
Toastify, a YouTuber who had covered Robert extensively...
We've watched a couple of Toastify's videos on the channel before.
...gave him some very blunt advice. Leave. This was something he did not take to heart. In fact, it was around this time he ended up blocking Rum simply for interacting with one of Toastify's videos.
Wow. Damn, all that simping, Tipster. All that simping just to dump her when it's convenient.
Just 8 days later.
That's how you treat a woman, Tipster? Huh?
Later, the community Tipster had been calling home would collapse in a catastrophic fashion. For the past several weeks, the YouTuber Mudahar had been working on an hour-long expose against Keffels. In the days leading up to its release, Robert attempted to get ahead of the narrative. He tried smearing the investigation as bad faith due to the creator of Kiwi Farms crediting much of the research to his site. When asked what Keffels had specifically done, Tipster replied, nothing. In reality, Keffels had raised over $100,000 on GoFundMe to cover the legal costs of suing her local police department for discrimination after she was swatted. In actuality, she not only lied about the details...
Yeah, I know, like I said, I know Keffels is like a whole rabbit hole of herself, and I personally don't really want any... I don't know. Maybe I should do, like, coverage of Keffels another day, because I really don't know all the ins and outs of Keffels. I almost said Tectone. I don't know why I thought of Tectone there for a second.
...of the swatting, but also spent the GoFundMe money on vacations, clothes, and abusing drugs.
As more and more shit started happening, I started doing cocaine at the start of 2023.
Oh, well, God bless Keffels. Hopefully you get better. Hopefully you don't fall down the drug addiction pipeline.
8 days into a cocaine bender, I found out that the coke that I was doing was cut with meth.
This was something Tipster again tried to get ahead of, writing, "They also keep going on and on about the lawsuit, but the GoFundMe states that not only was the money for legal action, but also for moving expenses and other needs." This is ignoring the fact that the title of the GoFundMe is literally Keffel's Legal Fund, and in an update just below she wrote, "All donations are going directly to my legal fund." In preparation for the expose's release, the vast majority of videos on the Tipster YouTube channel were mysteriously privated. Upon the release of Muda's investigation, rather than responding to any of the very valid claims made, Robert's initial response was, "Congrats, Muda, a literal Nazi retweeted you," showing that the creator of
Stone Toss Comics? I don't know the story about Stone Toss Comics.
was,
for a second I thought it said Steven Crowder and it was just like a right-wing freak or something.
"Congrats, Muda, a literal Nazi retweeted you," showing that the creator of Stone Toss had reposted his video, even though Muda had nothing to do with what that person was doing. Soon after, somebody changed their username to a literal Nazi and reposted Tipster's tweet.
I don't know if I should find that funny. It is kind of funny. I don't know if I should find that disturbing or funny, ironic. Maybe multiple things can be true at once, and we'll just call it there.
Robert continued reposting scathing critiques of Mudahar's video, such as the thumbnail making Keffals look too ugly, and went on to post, "When all the worst people on the internet are cheering you on, you really should start to..."
Oh my god, it's the unknown from Dead by Day. This situation was disgusting when people were like doing like they were attacking trans people using this skin, and they were obviously mocking trans people for looking ugly. It was so disgusting that people were doing that. It's gross.
Question how virtuous your actions are. Around this time, more of Tipster's private messages began flooding the internet. In one conversation, somebody named Cherry can be seen pleading with Tipster to stop defending Keffals. When given a hypothetical situation where Keffals had violated somebody, Robert is for some reason still unable to disavow her. Along with these messages,
Even if she, like, raped somebody? Oh, you're giving a hypothetical there. I was about to say, even if she violated someone, I was like, yeah, you make it sound like she sexually assaulted somebody.
Robert is for some reason still unable to disavow her. Along with these messages was a screenshot of a private Discord server hosted by Tipster and Keffals.
Tipster still hopes that he can get some trans titties in his life. You know, it's just never gonna happen. Sometimes you gotta know when to call it quits, Tipster. Sometimes an important skill in life is just knowing when to cut your losses. When and where to cut your losses.
The text channels included the names of various people who had wronged them, including Boblax and Turkey Tom. Within these channels were posts from a Discord bot named TweetShift that automatically archived their Twitter activity. It's unknown what the end goal was for this Discord server, but it was clear that Tipster had in fact not moved on from the commentary community. Another leaked DM shows Tipster discussing a dream he had on March 1st of that year. "I dreamt that I started taking HRT. Y'all are invading my dreams and trying to trans me. And no, I'm not kidding. That was a real dream I had." What an odd thing to say. Somebody named Maeve, who can be seen in several previous message leaks with Tipster as well as being a member of the private Discord, was outraged upon seeing those most recent leaks. While exposing the moles, she claimed that among the leaked convos were ones that outed Robert as pansexual, despite that part of the DMs never being published. In the process of trying to call out someone for outing Tipster, she actually outed Tipster herself. Following the Keffals debacle, Robert attempted to further distance himself from drama content by privating most of the remaining videos on his channel. All that was left were recent gaming highlights, as he claimed that was the direction his channel was now headed.
I'm essentially like a gaming streamer now. Like what you're watching me do right now.
I mean, weren't you always doing Resident Evil content? I remember tuning into a Tipster stream back during COVID, because I actually did watch Tipster at one point during COVID. I was under a different name, but I was still watching Tipster nonetheless during COVID. And I saw that even Tipster back then was still doing Resident Evil content, so you've always been like gaming to some extent. Were you not already doing that before?
That's what I do now. Which I've been having so much more fun with, to be honest. I'm actually glad I made the switch. I understand I would get more viewership if I did that kind of content, but I'm not interested.
You know, it's always great to express how glad you are about something by talking about it plenty of fucking times on the channel.
Genuinely don't have any interest in that kind of content anymore.
On top of this, he was finally getting his health in check. Claiming to have previously lost 40 pounds before gaining even more than that back, he asserts that this time will be different, with a picture of his Apple Watch attached. Despite these changes, Tipster's YouTube account would only continue to decline as very few people were interested in gaming stream highlights.
Why is he? It's just him nutting! It's just him nutting! What? Dude, he's like me when I see a Clara DM. Oh! What?
Okay.
Going on?
He eventually tried to...
Jesus Christ, you know, if there's a content creator that can yell consistently well, it's fucking Boblax. I don't think I've ever seen another content creator that can yell as consistently well as Boblax can. Boblex even was kind enough to provide some sound bites for Alex the Fiction. I think that's beautiful.
Doing political content again, although those videos were struggling to surpass a few hundred views. For a while, it seemed as though Robert would fade into obscurity without putting up much of a fight. That was until Boblax re-entered the picture yet again, to hand him his first major...
Get to see some Boblax ass pictures on OnlyFans. Hell yes, that's the content that everybody needed, I suppose.
Win in a very long time. You see, ever since their fallout, Boblax had been covering mostly innocuous tipster moments on his live stream. Dubbed bully streams, these were essentially 24/7 coverage of Robert playing Resident Evil while flirting with members of his chat.
Yeah, can I see it? Maybe with you naked. I want to see the haircut, but like without you having clothes on. But like,
you should post it in like I think a channel in my Discord called Pic Sharing or something like that.
Yeah, share pics in the pic sharing chat Discord. Put it in the tips. The tips. What? What the? Bought it.
Oh my god, Bobla. Alright. Like, after a while, I will say, I have sensitive hearing, so it's like, after a while, hearing so much fucking yelling gets to be, like, too much for me sometimes. It's, like, overstimulating as fuck.
You wanted to see it? What the f?
Boblax showed a keen interest in Robert's behavior, likely because deep down they were more similar than he'd like to admit. Up until now, he had done a good job of keeping his own eccentric behavior behind the scenes. While Tipster would implode in public, Boblax would do the same in private messages with his friends. On July 21st, 2024, Boblax posted, "Non-binary people are badass and valid, by the way."
I think that's beautiful. I love non-binary women. Especially, yeah, the feminine non-binary ones. They're the hottest. They're valid. Obviously, you know, people like Ryan Beard who are masculine, non-binary, masculine-leaning, non-binary. Those people are cool too.
Tom replied to this post saying, "Thank God you chimed in."
Oh my god, yes, of course. We needed Turkey Tom's opinion on this.
Boblax then went out of his way to explain his tweet, which was ignored by Tom, who replied again saying, "Pray skibbity or perish." Boblax quickly...
Obviously, Turkey Tom is not taking this seriously in any way. I feel like Boblax could have just, like, taken in Turkey Tom's response and just, like, not... Again, it's okay to not respond to everything. I understand the temptation of it. You know, obviously... Some YouTube comments and some fucking Twitter comments are dumb as hell. I agree. There's a lot of stupid people on the internet that feel the need to weigh in on everything, but I'm not saying Turkey Tom is a stupid person, but just the point that I'm trying to make is that Boblax just doesn't need to fucking respond to everything. It's okay to just take something in.
Deleted his tweets, but not before this pointless interaction was screenshotted and reposted by a small Twitter account named Alex Gekmo, with the caption, "Boblax tweaking right now." Seeing this, Boblax messaged Alex, repeatedly attempting to get him to take down the post. When this failed, he messaged several friends calling Alex evil, along with other more offensive terms. This interaction was only scratching the surface when it came to unhinged messages Boblax had been sending people. He blamed these outbursts on borderline personality disorder, although he later claimed...
Yeah, BPD is tough to deal with. Hopefully Boblax finds productive ways to deal with it. You know, listen, we're all praying for Boblax at the end of the day, that Boblax recovers and gets better. We all stand Boblax. Hopefully Boblax finds good ways to, you know, be productive about it.
He likely didn't have BPD and was only convinced he did by a girl he was dating. In other words, he didn't have BPD. Eventually, many of these messages would leak, resulting in the broader community turning on him. At his lowest point, for whatever reason, Boblax turned to Tipster, somebody he had been relentlessly bullying for the past year. After seeing Boblax had unblocked him, Robert posted a gif of rapper 50 Cent with the caption, "Bro unblocks me now? Really?" He then posted an update showing Boblax had blocked him again following his tweet. In the replies he wrote, "If he thought I was gonna welcome him back with open arms, he's delusional." Using this opportunity, a troll pretending to be Boblax sent Tipster a fake apology on his Linktree page. When Robert reached out directly to clarify if the message was real, Boblax replied with, "That's not me. Doing streams on you is some of the most fun I've had on YouTube. You're also a freak for defending Vosh." This was all the permission he needed to go nuclear. While on the toilet, Tipster wrote, "I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just looking for confirmation of whether this was you or not. But since you want to run your mouth, I'll say my piece. Literally everything you tried to shit on me for, you did. You're getting...
Well, Tipster, you certainly were shitting on the toilet when you were writing on this. That's the beautiful irony of this fucking email right here.
A taste of your own medicine, and you have no one to blame but yourself.
Oh my gosh.
You're such a pathetic coward that you deleted your non-binary people are valid tweets after you got a little bit of pushback for it.
Yeah, Bo Black, stand in your fucking non-binary take, alright? Stop whipping yourself so much, Bo Blacks. You tell him, Tipster.
I've been getting on for over a year for my support of the trans community, and not once have I deleted a tweet about it or backed down. Because unlike you, I have the balls to stand by my principles.
The balls?
And if that wasn't bad enough...
Aren't you a trans person, though? Unless, like, Tipster didn't go through with, like, a trans operation. I guess, technically, that is right. Yeah, I vaguely remember from the Alex the Fiction interview that Tipster mentioned that Tipster didn't, like, fully get, like, an operation fully yet, or any surgery to be fully trans yet.
Enough, you begged Alex Gekmo to delete a tweet because it hurt your feelings? There's a lot of valid criticism of me and how I mishandled things in the past, but not even I begged a random Twitter account to delete a tweet because it was too mean. You're a spineless coward. And let's not forget all the times you talked on streams, then DM'd me after about how you were just joking and didn't mean what you said. Well, now everyone sees who you really are. So stop pretending to be a bully because you're not a bully of anyone. You're just a who falls like a house of cards at the slightest criticism.
Oh my gosh.
Don't bother.
I mean, I think that there's probably like a level of truth to that from in like defense of Tipster. Like Bo Black's definitely had like a rules for thee but not for me for a while. Like back when Bo Black's was like in the commentary community doing the Twitter versus content, Bo Black's was still like extremely toxic. Like on one hand, Bo Blacks would be willing to criticize other people, but the moment Bo Blacks got into controversy, they had like a fucking meltdown in front of everybody. And that would happen on more than one occasion. And then finally it spiraled into Bo Blacks' lolcow status. And I feel like at a certain point, I think Tipster and Bo Blacks, they keep doing it to themselves by constantly responding to criticism and constantly responding to controversy. And you keep giving people ammunition to like make you guys lolcows, for lack of a better term. So just put fucking effort into your content. If you guys want to start doing content again, or if you guys want to start putting shit out there, at least benefit from it. At least try to like put yourself out there again, even if it's going to be a lot slower growing than it once was. Like we've all been there. Like we have to. Sometimes you got to start from scratch again. It happens.
Spondy, because I won't bother reading it. I took my L's. Now it's time to take yours. Thank you. Bye. God damn. This was a shockingly apt and cathartic message coming from Tipster of all people. In the following days, several of Bo Black's friends confronted him on a live stream about his behavior. Although he prematurely left the call, Robert himself joined near the end to clarify his position.
We're not going to see eye to eye on everything. We're not going to agree on everything, but like I can definitely look back at like some of the things that I've done in the past in hindsight and be like, yeah, I was really fucking dumb. And so like I had to take my L's and just like own it. I don't know. It just seems like he has a really hard time just like owning shit. But yeah, I can't stick around. I got to get going. But like I said, regardless of our like differences or whatever, you know, it's whatever. All right, I'm going to head out. See you later.
Oh, yeah. What the Wait, was he fake? Was he fake?
Wait, what? Wait, what? What was that?
Differences or whatever, you know, it's whatever. All right, I'm going to head out. See you later.
Whoa! Okay, that actually was the F slur. Oh. Okay, yeah, just censor that both times. I couldn't tell for sure. It sounded like Tipster said the word. I wasn't entirely sure, so I was like, wait, did Tipster just say what I think they just said? And I'm like, oh my god, they did. That's the Tipster. Man. Every single time. Tipster is like right there. Tipster is right there, about to like have like a moment of introspection or a moment of reflecting on their past. And then towards the end, it was just like, oh, yeah, bye. I didn't mean any of that shit. Goodbye. Come on.
What the Wait, was he fake? Was he fake? Did we just control him?
While it's arguable if Tipster ever truly came to terms with his behavior in the past, considering he often preferred blocking his critics, he was at least now accepting some responsibility for how things turned out. In a post directed to Bo Blacks, he wrote, "If you continue down this path, you're only going to end up with a dead channel and a dead career. Don't make the same mistakes I did." As more came out about Bo Blacks, Robert continued to dunk on him.
I feel like Tipster could still have a career if Tipster actually was willing to put effort into their content again, and they actually were willing to put themselves out there and not feel the need to make every single thing about their life public. I feel like you could, in theory, like, actually start making shit happen again. Get short form content out there, do all that good stuff. And yeah, you could become a gaming channel. You could do whatever fucking content you want, whatever you feel, whatever floats your boat, Tipster.
Eventually, the two agreed to chat on stream and air out their grievances, starting with Vosh.
All I alluded to was like the defending Vosh thing, which I still think was horrible, and you agree. So
I make myself look like a idiot.
That's what I said.
I had a big problem of going out on a limb for people to like defend them and stuff like that when I probably shouldn't even got involved.
Bo Blacks continued trying to grill him, but after already admitting he was wrong, the conversation was essentially going in circles. Tipster had come to terms with arguably his biggest flaw. In contrast, when confronted about why he had been friendly in DMs while publicly telling people Robert had backstabbed him regarding his fight with Keffels, Bo Blacks refused to concede anything.
So then you did feel backstabbed?
Yes.
So why didn't you tell me that when I asked you that in DMs?
Why would I tell you?
You see what people mean when they say that you do this like double speak thing, or you're not like fully honest with like how you feel or whatever, and you don't see how they can see that as dishonest? Yeah, I think we're done here.
While Tipster undoubtedly came out the victor of this back and forth, he had no intentions of returning to the commentary community or any of his old friends.
Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is the 8th I'm quitting post, for lack of a better term. But I guess maybe this time Tipster really meant it.
Frankly, he seemed to be happy with his new life. If I knew how much people in queer communities loved fatties like me, I would have came out of the closet sooner.
Incredible.
He even began posting on Blue Sky after changes...
I guess there is a market for fatties and thickies, you know?
...were made to
nowadays, especially.
Twitter's block button, making it...
It's a little bit of projection, I guess. Alright, shut up.
...functionally inert. Soon after joining, he got right back into posting his usual content. The rumors are true. @Euphoritori is a bratty bottom. Unfortunately, his detractors were quick to notice that his Blue Sky account had been almost instantly blocked by Keffels after he spam replied to all her posts. Despite this cringe posting on Blue Sky, in the eyes of most people, Tipster was continuing his redemption arc. Near the end of 2020...
Well, like I said, the one thing that will probably never change about Tipster is their addiction to the Goonernomicon book.
Rich from the once respected YouTube...
Makes you wonder what Tipster's origin story was with discovering the Goonernomicon book. What's the lore in that? Maybe Tipster can enlighten us on that.
Channel Review Tech USA was routinely spiraling on live streams. Robert and him had spoken years prior and seemed to be on good terms. Sadly, in the present day, Rich had just deleted his entire account after surpassing 1 million subscribers, and was now ranting about an ex-girlfriend named Becky Boop, claiming she had been a prostitute.
I did hear stuff about Becky Boop. That is a familiar name. I don't know all the details, though, but I definitely have heard that name come up.
Hi, everyone. Becky Boop is an opportunistic who used to herself out on Craigslist to old men to make money.
As it turned...
Rip. Was that somebody you got super attached to? It happens. I mean, like, God bless sex workers, but it would have been nice to communicate that with your partner, you know, before you get attached to them, if that's really what happened.
Now, Tipster and Becky had been good friends for several years now, and one of his female friends coming under fire could only mean one thing. She needed him to defend her. But hear me out. Possibly for the first time in his entire career, Robert utterly crushed his opponent in a debate.
You were friends with Keffels. How'd that go?
I heard you on the other day on stream say that we're not friends anymore, and that's not true.
But how did that go for you? How'd that go for your reputation?
Can you explain to me where the grift is then? Because I literally lost my career by standing by my principles, and I still haven't backed down.
You were literally.
Aren't you the one that's been in a lot of girls' DMs too? By the way, you're the one who brought up like sliding in people's DMs and shit. So I'm just saying, like, you don't really, you don't belong in, like, you shouldn't be throwing stones in a glass house, bro. That's all I'm saying. The last time I was watching you have a meltdown on stream, I was sitting next to my wife while having dinner while watching you lose your mind.
Is that really something you and your wife... Like, how does your wife feel that you're constantly getting involved in, like, being a lol cow online? Like, genuinely, Tipster, that is a question. How does your wife feel about your status as a lol cow? Like, I don't know. Like, how do you help someone like Tipster at this point? Because, like, I really do wish, like, somebody... Like, I want to help Tipster. Like, I genuinely think Tipster's heart is in the right place. But they make so many fucking bad decisions that... And leave them ending up in, like, fucking worse positions than they otherwise would have been in.
Good luck to you.
Pause
Best
1 second.
Of luck to you, Rich.
No.
But you look like a fucking clown.
You don't get to end. He just pulled a Phil.
There are many blunders online personalities have come back from over the years, but losing a debate to Tipster is essentially career-ruining. As for his claim of still being friends with Keffals, that would at least explain why he continued to defend her on Blue Sky and random Reddit threads. However, it would be many months before the two would be seen interacting again. When interviewed on the matter, Tipster does acknowledge that Keffals has blocked him, but hand-waves it away as her wanting to distance herself from the internet, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't buy that for a second. I think Keffals is just done with everything and probably got, like, sick of Tipster after a while.
Apparently, has Keffals...
Maybe Keffals was using Tipster for, like, clout or something, or was like, I don't know. Maybe if there was a situation... I feel like Gamer from Mars would have mentioned it earlier, but if Tipster was, like, paying Keffals tons of money or donating, it's possible Keffals could have been using Tipster as, like, a pay pig or something. That's just a theory, though.
Keffals blocked you on Blue Sky? Is that right?
Yeah.
Don't think Keffals has said much since the whole Xanderhall crash out thing. Is there like a kind of a fracturing kind of behind the scenes?
I'm not gonna, obviously share anything that's private or whatever, but like as far as like our relationship, like it's fine. She's kind of living her own life, offline for the most part. There's no like bad blood there or anything like that. Like we're still cool or whatever.
Robert too has grown tired of the internet. On December 6, 2024, he announced he would be leaving Twitter for the foreseeable future. This was in response to what he saw as an increase.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, how many times have we heard Tipster say that they're leaving the internet?
In bigotry and discrimination on the
platform. Like, at this point, Tipster talks about leaving the internet just as much as Tipster breathes.
Platform. Just like his previous breaks from Twitter, this was over just as soon as it started. The allure of blog posting various life updates was just too strong to ignore. With his continued use of Twitter, Bo Black's returned to antagonize Robert once again. Their back and forth went on for several days, ultimately culminating in Tipster dedicating a segment on stream to discuss their beef. While little to no new information came to light during the stream, Robert did a good job of summarizing how he ended up in this position.
I can look at this in hindsight. I could take the L and say, I defended some things that I didn't need to defend. I inserted myself into some situations that I didn't need to insert myself into, which anybody who knows my history knows that was a bad habit of me. If I liked someone because they were a creator I enjoyed, or because they were a friend of mine or something like that, I always had a bad habit of inserting myself into situations that I didn't need to insert myself into. I basically lost my career as a content creator. I lost my audience. I lost a lot of friends over this shit. Like, I made an ass of myself, and I can own it.
This new sober...
Sure, I mean, okay, but I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to be the end of your career. It's not like you did like an EDP or something, or it's not like you did something that's like so bad that you can't come back from it. I feel like you can, still put content out there, if you're willing to put effort into it, that is.
Perspective on his past failures was slowly buying back the little respect he once had. Unfortunately, just one day later, tragic news would strike the Tipster fandom, as he would make a post on his community page. I've always said that the day YouTube was no longer fun for me would be the day I'd retire. I believe that day has finally come. The YouTube landscape has changed drastically since I started. Many of the aspects that initially drew me to the platform and its community are no longer present. I've come to realize that it's time for me to move on and leave on somewhat of a high note, on my own terms. In many ways, this was understandable. YouTube is completely unrecognizable compared to 2006 when Robert first joined the platform. Now nobody cares to watch his stream highlights playing Resident Evil, or talking about his interest in retro games. For many viewers, the only entertaining moments from Tipster's long online career centered around him
was their status as a lol cow,
getting overwhelmed in debates, losing his friends, or embarrassing himself. Given that reality, can you blame Robert for wanting to leave? Well, he had stopped.
No. I think getting a reset could... Honestly, I feel like, if anything, I wonder if, like, this time off YouTube and, like, just not doing content creation for a little while can not only give Tipster some perspective, but maybe one day Tipster... If Tipster ever does come back to content creation, Tipster will have, like, a new perspective on it. They'll know what to do. They'll put short-form content out there. They'll stop responding to everything. You know, they'll gain a lot of wisdom, and hopefully when they do come back, it'll be better. You know, that's what I hope for Tipster, more than anything. And God bless Tipster. If you're watching this video, best of luck. I actually don't dislike you as a person. I do hope for the best.
Posting on YouTube, he continued keeping his fans updated on Blue Sky. You would think by cutting off the source of all his anguish, Tipster's life would have improved, yet somehow it seems to have gotten worse. In one update he posted, "A friend today told me they look up to me. Why? What is there to look up to? I'm a failure in every way possible." Even if you're someone who despises Tipster, you have to admit this black and white sort of thinking isn't an accurate reflection of reality or productive in any way. He does have a decent job and a wife who seems fine with his online shenanigans. Less than 2 months after announcing his retirement, Tipster returned to YouTube yet again. I feel like this script is getting repetitive.
Yeah, I guess so. I probably should have seen that coming, that they were going to come back. I guess I did see it coming, that Tipster would inevitably return to YouTube, just not this soon.
Once again, he decided to wipe his entire channel, with only his most recent streams remaining public. He continued streaming for the next few months, although very little from this time has been archived. Even users of Kiwi Farms only occasionally return to his thread to remind readers that he is indeed still overweight.
Alright, that's cringe. Like, again, like, if the only insult is, oh, by the way, somebody is fat, and you have no other criticism, that's... come on.
For what it's worth,
I always just found it so cringe that people resort to making comments about somebody's weight when they have nothing else to say. So it's such a strange cope. Like, do you have no other criticisms to give tipsters about their actions that they've done?
It appears the majority of lost media was uninteresting. His sub count had been in free fall since his return, and by November of 2025, he officially dropped below 100k. It would be an understatement to say
Oh, okay, I guess Tipster does go by he, they pronoun. I guess, well, maybe that was back then. And now Tipster doesn't go by he, they anymore. I don't know. I'm confused about Tipster's pronoun situation.
Tipster needed to make a change.
I want to use the correct one. I'm just confused as to which one to use.
Change. A transition, if you will. On December 29th, Robert posted to Twitter, "New Year, New Me," with a transgender flag attached. In the replies,
hell yes!
He clarified that he was coming out as non-binary, along with...
Oh, so any pronouns. Okay, so he, him is still good. Hell yes.
This, he changed his name.
We love to see it. God bless, Tipster. This is a new chapter in the Tipster arc, and I think it's beautiful.
On all platforms to "Hey, it's Tippy XO." This rebrand included a new Gothic-inspired logo. Over the next few months, he would post about getting his ears pierced, painting his nails, and wearing makeup. In his own words, when referring to his past message leaks, "Little did I know I wanted to be the goth chick."
Hell yes.
To celebrate.
Honestly, like, that's actually kind of a smart, like, in a weird way, this is kind of a happy ending for Tipster, because they are, they're kind of taking their past controversies and they're making fun of it. And if you can make fun of, like, a dumb thing you did back then, and you can, like, turn it into, like, a meme or a joke, I would say that, like, 50% of what made that controversy just goes away. And, like, if Tipster does want to get back into content creation, they could lean into that a little bit. There's potential for this new chapter in the Tipster arc. I think it's beautiful.
To celebrate this transformation, he once again wiped his YouTube channel, with the oldest public video now being dated one day after his announcement. He finally seemed to be in good spirits, posting about how he had overcome alcoholism and had been seeing a therapist. Although he did seem to be upset about a particular friend that had cut him off in the past. It's likely this friend in question was the now ex-goth mommy Hannah Animal. who responded to this thread saying, "Why is Tipster trying to rewrite history that his struggle with alcoholism was due to sexuality and not his unhappy marriage? You put too much personal baggage on people who shouldn't be dealing with it. I was a 21-year-old..."
I mean, I guess if Tipster finds themselves going after, like, other fucking women or going after, like, other goth mommies consistently, like, what, is your wife not doing enough for you in the bed? Are you just, like, not that happy with your wife that you want, like, to get the attention of other women? I do think these are, like, important conversations to have if you find yourself consistently flirting with other women while you're married.
Trying to give marriage advice to a guy in his 30s. "I allowed you to sexualize me into a meme because it's the only time you seemed happy." Robert never directly responded to this, and that's probably for the best. He often claims that people making jokes at his expense are obsessed with his marriage, but you shouldn't spend the better part of a decade flirting with random women online and venting to them about your wife if you expect any other outcome. Most recently...
That's a fair criticism. Yeah.
In his Discord server, the domain of the goth mommies, we can see that Robert's mental health has once again declined. While the exact reason for this is currently a mystery, it is a pattern that is likely to repeat. As of writing, Tipster is 39 years old and seemingly still spends most of his days trauma dumping to people half his age over Discord. This is not behavior that's conducive to success or personal growth. Fortunately for Robert, he has fallen so far from the spotlight that he would have to do something truly insane for anyone to bother documenting it going forward. After spending the majority of his adult life online, he has little to show for it. In the past, he had tried to create an echo chamber around himself, blocking anyone who attempted to pierce his bubble. But now, streaming to less than 10 viewers, he has, in a sense, achieved that. Perhaps this is the best possible outcome for Tipster. While other lolcows will likely have every moment tracked for the rest of their lives, Robert can quietly fade into obscurity playing Resident Evil.
Women.
A big thank you
Women!
to Fume for sponsoring today's video. Click the link in the description down below to try it out for yourself.
Okay. Well, that's the end of that brain rot, I suppose. Stop gooning, Tipster. Stop gooning, and your life will become more incredible. And hopefully you could start this next beautiful chapter of your life. As for the gamer from Mars, the only thing I really have to say is maybe use the correct pronouns for Tipster. But yeah, incredible stuff.